Hello, everybody. Welcome to 20XX League Qualifier number 2. We are back for another week to see who is going to be the lucky teams making it in to the 20XX League. I'm always super excited to see league format. I'm Fusion. I'm joined here today by Nox. I love your hair. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I love your hair too. Always wonderful to be on cast with you. Really looking forward to this qualifier. I'm so excited to see how this league shapes up. I know we saw the first few teams come in last week, one of them being Kyo's, and I'm just so excited. It's been a while since we've had a good league like this going on. We've had Ludi, but Ludi's a little different.
Yeah, honestly, Ludi's definitely different. I feel like it's kind of like the invitational leagues that really get the heavy hitters coming out. You get, I mean, last week we saw Guru, Celeste, and Moonlight all podium. This week we have a lot of strong teams as well. We see Duck Motif is back. I'm not sure. I need to look at who's on comp diff, but teams are trying to get their revenge if they didn't make it in that first week. There's one more qualifier after this, but teams don't want to take their chances.
I mean, it's better to not have to put it off until the last week. It's definitely a situation where you want to not have to stress about it. Like, obviously, ideally you get it week 1. Week 1 is where is what you'd expect from your strongest teams, like a Gru to just or a Celeste or a Moonlight to make it in through. A Duck Motif also very likely on the list of week 1, but not doing it last week, hoping to make it this time. And we're going to be going into what I've been told is the gravity equation versus Amora.
Yeah, a lot of strong players on, I'm just going to call them Gravity, although I know there is / was another team called Gravity. A lot of strong players. They have quite a few members who have reached 3k XP, which is very impressive, I believe. A lot of them were Div 2. I love the Sendo bios. The fact that we can run tourneys on Sendo and research the players is very nice. And yeah, the other side, Amora. It's a Div 3 team here. I've seen some of the players around for sure, but I am not super familiar with what they've been running. Have you noticed anything? Like with what, I don't know, what weapons people have been playing? What
I don't know
what's
for
Splatfest team actually? What's Splatfest team? I didn't think about it until I just looked at the lobby and I was like, oh yeah, it's bread versus rice versus pasta.
It is bread versus rice versus pasta, and I live on pasta, admittedly. Do I think it is the best out of the 3? No, but it would be hypocritical of me to pick anything else because I eat it most days because it is the quickest thing to make for dinner.
Oh, that's so valid. I can't live without bread. Bread's too good.
Good sourdough is truly an unbeatable experience.
Sourdough is absolutely incredible.
There's just nothing better than a correctly made sourdough because you just put some good butter on there and you're set. You don't need anything else. You can just enjoy the bread. And that's really what it comes down to in life is which carb do you eat the most often? The Splatoon team got that right.
That's true. This is pretty good. I know a lot of people who would pick one or the other.
Yes.
I don't know. Does bread include cake? We'll have to figure that out.
We're
hopping back in to our first game of qualifier number 2. Double bucket, double gal on one side. That's a funky comp coming out from this side of Gravity, I believe. We'll see what they're able to do with it. Mako's definitely the place to do it. Watercolor screen coming out as well. It is allowed in this particular set. So we'll see if that's going to be able to create some space for Gravity.
I mean, it's definitely nice to have against that pencil player on the side of Amora. Always nice to be able to limit a pencil's line of sight. We also are going to be see a lot of fizzies coming out most likely from that Tri Nouveau just to help create chaos as we're seeing them just go forward right now, trying to push even further in, coming to push up, having to back off a bit as their teammate goes down. But there goes a fizzy, and they managed to get out of there. Their teammate was also coolered, so they'll be back in pretty much immediately.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Amora finding it hard to get out of spawn. They keep ending up in the freezer, getting stuck in between all of the buckets and gals from the side of Gravity, and there's nowhere to go. And oh my god, the screen in the spawn.
Oh, that's brutal.
Going from one side to the other. Time is ticking down, 30 seconds left, and I don't even know if more than one person of Gravity has gone down in
don't
this game,
think
there's a
so.
52 gal as well, and this is just absolute domination. That's
Yeah,
going to be the game one
it
already
is.
going in Gravity's favor. Amora just unable to
Yeah.
break past.
Yeah, really great job of just utilizing their comp to its full extent there on the side of Gravity. Um, really taking advantage of the hyper aggression of it. And at that point, your machine is almost like a stabilizing factor, which is not a weapon we would expect to play that role. But I guess on Mako, with that comp, you can get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people always talk about like 52 gal being kind of broken. I haven't
Just a
seen
bit.
double 52 gal
Not since
really,
Splatoon 2.
yeah, really be run before, but they're making it look pretty good here. You got one that's aggressive and one that's supportive. Very
Yeah.
cool. Cool stuff coming out. The double buckets
Yeah.
playing nicely with each other in Mako Mart through that middle of the map. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just the way that here UDV or what? Sorry, U Prime V was able to push around the left side while the rest of the team moved around the right. Really nice pinch. Just great stuff overall.
It was, and I'd like to point out how well the machine was providing crossfire for everyone there. They weren't necessarily pulling off any particularly like flashy moments themselves, but they were able to keep an eye on everyone on their team and give that consistent chip, give that consistent extra damage. And I do believe I saw a good number of their point sensors coming out there, which would have helped their 52 gal and their try really be able to rush in and create the chaos they did. Now, I don't think that will work quite as well for them on TC Hagglefish. I can't imagine. I mean, it's still a good bucket map, but the pencil can set up a little more easily and a little more safely. And if Amora takes a second to like regroup, get specials, there's more time to spend in spawn getting stuff together. So maybe they'll be able to put themselves back together a little bit more here.
Yeah, I think this game will at least last a little bit longer, regardless of what happens. Yeah, more time to stabilize. The longer range are going to be pretty helpful for. It's going to be pretty helpful for trying to hold down the high ground, stop the tower from getting like all the way to the second checkpoint, and overall, more just really kind of needs a little bit of breathing room in order to, I guess, try and get on their feet.
But yeah, neither of us got distracted by the cat. I didn't see a cat tail and go, oh my god, a cat, and lose my mind a little bit for a second. But TC Haggle is definitely a map where you're playing heavily around those checkpoints, trying to figure out a consistent and safe way in, while also making sure you have something to clear that upper right side while you push.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go, hopping right into it. We've actually got the heavy edit coming out. It's going to be a different cooler weapon of choice here.
That's 3 gals.
It sure is. I've seen
boy.
5296 before. I've not seen double 5296 before.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's something. I like seeing the bucket and 52 move together on the side of Amora. I like that they played cleanup on that right side, kept themselves from getting rushed down. Now they have cooler. They're going to be able to go forward. Finding another, just the 52 gal on respawn. Oh no, not on respawn. Coming still in mid there, but managing to get cleaned up. This should be a good opening push coming out of Amora. They definitely seem more comfortable on this map. I guess not getting rushed down by 2 buckets on Mako does make the game a little easier sometimes.
it did swap over to the heavy edit and the slosher, I believe. We actually saw
I
the
think the
slosher.
slosher was there last time.
Was it? Okay.
I believe so.
Apologies, but were able to hit over the wall and get a very good pick at the start of the game over a splash wall. Yeah, Amora just locking it down, really taking control, taking that top right. The tower's all the way at that second checkpoint. Not enough to get that check, though. Just barely able to get stopped in time by X Battle as well as the Kraken coming out from Bouncy over there. So nice stop, big push, but not that second checkpoint. That's kind of the the turning point of the game. If you get past that, it's looking dangerous.
It definitely is pushing on game if you get there, but it looks like Amora is going to be able to get another push in here, getting a wipeout. Taxivator moving forward, trying to pursue the people trying to catch them for taxes, I guess?
I guess so. Taking on the IRS um, over here.
There
And
did used
Amora,
to be a team called
I
IRS.
know, I remember. Oh my god. Amora already back at that checkpoint. It looks like they are going to get it this time. There's a Kraken at the tower, but
Mhm.
you know, if you shoot at it, it can't really get on. Bouncy stuck. They get not taken out. Actually, they get bounced all the way back into mid. So I guess that was a good enough stall to stop that tower from moving forward. And this is a complete reversal of what happened last game.
Yeah.
Amora just completely pressuring gravity all the way back into their spawn. And yeah, they could
Just
go all the
causing
way with
havoc.
this.
They really could. It's definitely a situation where if you're Gravity, you haven't been able to get a push off at all. You haven't even been able to hold mid. Amora is consistently keeping the tower on your side of the map. You're feeling stressed, you're feeling pressured. And you have weapons that can get those quick kills, but you have to be able to position to get them. And Amora's been so consistently getting those coolers that even if you get the trade, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Guan's been doing a great job just giving the jumps back in for their team, helping get the coolers. Amora has not gotten full wiped really this game at all, and Gravity's really just kind of been scrapping for the tower a little bit, kind of independently here. I mean, that's what gals do. They kind of take fights themselves, and half the time they get 2 hits before you even blink, and the other half of the time they just miss until you end up getting taken out yourself. So Amora just kind of taking full advantage of that, not giving an opportunity to Gravity to even get back in here. You can kind of see as soon as they drop in, the Zukas come out, and oh my god, a full wipeout again.
Really great team play coming out of Amora here. They're all backing each other up. The heavy edit, like you talked about, is acting as borderline a beacon for the rest of their teammates while still getting picks themselves, but they're going to have to jump out there, as right now we're seeing Gravity get their first chance at pushing 4.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, time is ticking. They do have strikes. Amora has strikes in order to seal the game in overtime, so Gravity's going to need to act fast if they want to get back this lead. They need to make a move now, but they're not able to move all the way up. Actually, that trade went way more in Gravity's favor than I realized. Guam now forced to move back into mid thanks to all the whales and all of the specials coming out. 2 members down. The strikes slow down the tower, but yeah, Bouncy up in the spawn as a 96 scale. That's a splash wall weapon, hard to dislodge.
It is.
Amora locked all the way into their spawn in the last 40 seconds of the game. The tower moving to that second checkpoint.
Tower at that second checkpoint, really looking to try and get forward here. And we're seeing the wall come out, the splatter color wall. Zeke able to get the flank, but not able to find a pick with it. Tower still moving forward. They're reaching the checkpoint. The slosher trying to slow them down. Not going to be enough. Just the splatter shot left up. But that is going to be the checkpoint falling, going to Gravity. Lead switching in the final 30 seconds. And this could even be a KO as they keep getting pick after pick.
Oh my goodness, the last 30 seconds of the game, the tower keeps going, the lead flip, the Kraken alive and backing out. Bouncy's going to somehow miraculously survive that encounter. Amora has one last chance in overtime. There is a potential Kraken coming out on the other side. Gal's probably not the best weapon to be attacking the tower in overtime, but there's a flank on that right side. I don't know if they see it. Yeah,
They
2
did.
members sharking over. There's still another person behind them. Yeah, X-Battle waiting for the tower to move over. Here comes Zeke. Zeke sees them. The whale comes out. They find a pick on the tower. The whale's chasing down X-Battle, but this is such a good flank. The distraction turning the attention of Amora completely around. Gravity's going to seal that game away after snatching it back right from under Amora's nose.
What a great turnaround there by Gravity, managing to get that flip. That's such a hard thing to do, knowing that you just have that one chance at a push. They did not have time to try and make another push after that one. They needed that push to get them the lead. They held it together long enough to do that, and Amora just kind of kept dropping into them, which is so easy to do on the defense of this map. It's so tempting to just go, okay, well, I don't have time to think. I don't have time to paint. I just need to go, go, go. And sometimes when you do that, you have situations where you thought you had a good lead. And in the last, essentially, minute, the other team manages to get their one push, and it's just enough. Splatoon is all about that one big push.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like you said, we saw Gravity kind of trickling into Amora the same exact way for a good 2-3 minutes of this game, and Amora just not quite able to finish the game. that's going to be Gravity taking it back and taking the set. They're going to be moving on to, I believe, is that eighths or top six? It's the top 16-ish point of winners, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not great at the names. I think it's just winners round 2. That probably
I
makes
think
more sense.
I think it's winners round 2. I think we go yeah. The nice thing about Sendo is it tells us when semis starts. Which
Yeah,
is
it
always
is.
great.
Yeah, it is very nice about that. So winners round 2, then 3, and then semis comes in after
Yes.
that. Yeah, we could take a quick peek at some of the matches going on right now. I have my eye on Healthy Diet. They've been looking very strong recently. So that 8-9 matchup just up there's something worth keeping an eye on. I am also interested in BTDX, the bet to destroy X team that we see occasionally come out for these
Yes.
big events. Yeah, they're up against Applebee's, who's another very strong team, actually. That's kind of a mix of a lot of people I know. Caden, Toasty, Shy, Splatver, something.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely a strong set.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that one will go as well, but we are not quite going to be able to... yeah, we're not going to be able to see that, but we'll come back and look at the brackets a little bit later as well.
Mm-hmm. It does seem that we know what our next set will be, from what I understand. It seems that we will be going to a set between Hypernova and Remedy.
Ooh, yeah, very interesting matchup. Hypernova, Toyoben, Synapse, Pulley, Lexi, Remedy, Pulp, Nick, Fishy, and Riku. I believe we'll be seeing a, I think we'll be seeing a squeezer come out.
I would expect
from the
to
side
see
of
one come
Remedy,
out.
but I'm not positive. Players have been kind of switching around. There's been a lot of variety in this meta.
Yeah.
I think. A good amount of like blasters and sloshers and swords and everything. A lot of midlines.
It's midline heaven right now, to be very fair. It's such a great time to be a midline player because whatever weapon class you like, there's probably a midline that'll work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess not dualies. Sorry, dualie players. And I guess Sprellas. That's rough. Don't like the 2 weapon classes that came with Splatoon 2.
I feel like people could play like the vanilla dualies. Those are still pretty solid.
Yeah, but they're not quite midline.
Yeah, true. I think whatchamacallit, Dowsers. Dowsers are so close to being good.
Dowsers are so close. And you know what? Maybe if somebody really pushed them, they could be it. But I'm also not going to be upset about not playing against Dowsers.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, dually sculptures are kind of the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I don't miss that era of S2 where everyone was so good at the specific dually sculpture tech. I don't remember what it was called now, but they have their own special tech, and it was a nightmare to try and hit them, and it was upsetting.
Yeah.
Good for dually sculptures in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, the fact that they like drift after everything, I don't miss it. I don't miss what trying to hit that with like blasters.
Ooh, yeah. Back in S2 I was playing Junior, which also felt bad to try and hit anything.
That's also a miserable experience because they just roll away from your bombs.
Yeah, how dare they? That's rude. The splat bomb Junior had one. Well, Junior's almost meta again. People have been using it more again, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's not a bad pick, but I thought we could leave it behind. I thought it was time for it to go. In the same way I thought it's been time for Zap to go for 5 years. So
Zap's like up there with Shot. It's like always going to be good.
it's a fully functional shooter. Wow, it can just do things.
Incredible.
Just like Splash, Zap, and Shot are just always going to be functional, no matter what you do at this point.
Oh yeah, something about this set. I'm interested to see if Pulp is going to pull out Bamboo.
Yeah.
We don't get to see Bamboo all that much, and I mean, Pencil is...
Pencil's
Bamboo players will be mad at me for saying they're kind of similar weapons, but
no,
like if you're a Bamboo player and you also play Pencil, I think you're going to get peer pressured into playing Pencil because it has cooler. But I am excited to see if a Bamboo does come out, because
Yeah.
very fascinating kit.
I
Focus
love
more
its
on like
kits. I
on
love
taking people out.
I think that both of Bamboo's kits are so unique and can work very well in comps right now if you're willing to use a zap instead of a pencil in your comp. Um, I think I've messed around with Bamboo some in my own personal time, and I think it's very good right now. I don't think it's like as strong as pencil, but I think if you make a comp specifically built around it, it can be very good and very functional.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just tend not to see too many teams run it just because pencil provides that little the supportive special and doesn't require like another teammate to run that cooler. The cooler
Yeah.
somewhat mandatory, not completely, but
It's
uh
close. It's our
it's
closest to
close.
mandatory special at the moment.
Yeah. And we do see double pencil coming out. The CRB actually, even on splat zones, this is such a big map. So I'm
It's
curious.
such a good blaster map.
It's it's pretty good. I just don't like playing the blaster on such big maps because you just kind of end up like in the middle of a big open area and like praying that one block is going to save you.
That's fair. But on
But
the other hand, when you get set up below those ledges, it's so
true.
hard to do anything about it. But also we're seeing Synapse on this 52 gal, classic for Synapse. Okay, Zuka. You do Zuka things, I guess. Good for you. Toya been managing to help hold down the zone for now. Whale coming out from Synapse, able to clean up the zone, looking to recap it, able to. 2 players down on each team, but right now Hypernova managing to hold.
Yeah, Hypernova, even though they went down 2 members to that Zuka, able to just bounce back very quickly. Now, I believe that's Lexi on the pencil up on top, able to lock down the zone here, but members of Hypernova are going down. The pencils are battling. Yep, it's going to be Brochin coming out on top. I'm sorry if I butchered
Just
that
like
name
we were talking
pronunciation.
about earlier, bread.
Anyways, yeah, Remedy able to grab back the zone here, and without losing too many points in the process. They do have a kind of hammer for sharking the ledges. Nick also sharking here with that slosher. A lot of resources waiting to come out when Hypernova begins to move in.
Yeah, we are seeing that cooler coming out from the side of Hypernova, helping them try and get this push going. They managed to find 2. Nick trying to find Synapse here, going to be able to get the trade. Definitely going in Remedy's favor right now. Remedy looking to keep holding the zone, but the Kraken coming out to cause some chaos, able to find the pick on nap time. And Polly looking to move forward on that right side, chasing somebody down.
Yeah, Hypernova now trying to battle for the zone with those strikes. It's going to stay pretty neutral in this situation, but a member goes down on each side. Toyoben just trying to fight for that zone. That is the Tentatek Splatter Shot. Yeah, Toyoben just trying to play it as supportively as possible here. The Wiper moving in on that right side. They're going to get taken out by the Blaster, but that stalls long enough for their teammate to take out 2 members of Hypernova. Now Remedy back in control of the zone. It's just Toyoben there. They're taken out. Now Remedy seems like they're in control of the game.
Remedy definitely looks like they have this under control for right now. Zones is a war of attrition. It is all about the retakes. It is all about who can keep going the longest. And so Hypernova is definitely not out of this yet. Looking to find a way to break back in. The Slosher is down. Synapse chasing down the Wiper right now. Looking to move forward. The Kraken gonna help them. Does seem like Synapse had a bit of bad luck there breaking that torpedo, keeping them trapped on that right side for a bit longer though.
Yeah, Hypernova battling for the zone here. Not able to find it just yet, but some nice team plays going to enable them to move in and clean up shop here. Now, Hypernova still has used most of their specials on the way in. Remedy has the strikes as well as the cooler ready to go. They're going to be moving in with those strikes here on that right side, and just like you said, that Blaster camping the ledge so strong. Fully finds 2, looking for a third. They're going to get it.
Are they
looking
going
for
to go
a
for the
4th. They're going for it. They're kind of stuck here, and they're going to jump out and live here. They have a Kraken as well. Hypernova looking to put this game away.
Hypernova getting a really solid hold here, but the trip strike's coming out. Going to be able to flip this zone because it is one of the smallest zones in the game. But no, I'm wrong, actually. Nick chasing down Toyoben, trying to find the pick. Not going to be able to. Got pinched off. Div 5 to find the zone. Brochin looking to move forward here, trying to help their teammates paint and get in. They are holding this neutral by the skin of their teeth, and they lost it. And Paulie looking to find enough, and that is Hypernova taking game 1. taking advantage of the retake they got, all the retakes they got to really clean up that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, uh, I feel like it's a little bit hard to say what exactly won Hypernova that game. I feel like there was kind of a lot of
I
there was
mean,
a
that
lot of.
triple from Pooley
I mean,
might have done a little something for him there.
it certainly did. I think that like Hypernova just kind of was like throwing big punches out, and they didn't really land until that range blaster
Yes.
got that pick. So Remedy was in the game until that big play came out. But
Mhm.
this still bodes well for the next game for Remedy. This, I believe, was a best of 5, if I remember correctly, as well. So Remedy has a couple extra chances to get back in it.
Yeah, Remedy still has a good bit to go. We are into best of 5 now. And our next game is going to be on Clan Blitz, which is a very different pace than Splat Zones. One of my favorite ways of thinking through the modes is Splat Zones and Tower Control are both modes where the game pace is set by the movement or the space or the pace of the objective, whereas Clan Blitz and Rainmaker are all about going fast. Can you do it faster? Cool. You control the pace, whereas Splat Zones and Tower Control, the pace is picked for you.
Boy. It's still the morning. I'm still being.
Yeah, I chugged an energy drink during the last set, so I'm doing pretty good now. I'm pretty awake now. But we are going to be going on to Clan Blitz on Museum de Alfonsino, which is always a fun one. Definitely a map where it's really hard to push through, so having some special that can help you break through and get to the objective more easily is nice. I do expect to see the CRB stay here.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is a map where Crab can be pretty valuable using it from top mid. But if you have a pencil already, it kind of can pressure from that angle. I'm not positive whether we're going to be seeing any major changes. Like you said, it is kind of hard to push all the way to the basket on this map, but it is not that bad to push just towards like the ramp on the enemy plot. So expect to see long holds and a lot of patience before those big scores here. Yep, just like you said, that CRB still here. The pencil still out on both sides. The wiper again, as well as the bucket. Yeah, just going to be a repeat here. Actually, we do have a Zuka. Toyoben switching over from strikes to the Zuka, trying to help with that long range picks, going to try and surprise people from the other side of the map in mid here.
Yeah, I mean, every map's a good Zuka map, but this one especially, there's a lot of good angles for Zuka. You can definitely surprise people with it. Synapse doing some spicy movement out here, looking to start moving forward, taking good advantage of those splash walls. Synapse has been a 52 gal wall player since what seems like forever at this point. I think it's been long enough to say forever since Kinsa 52 at this point.
Yeah, Synapse was like the Kensa 52 player in Splatoon. Splatoon 2, like before it became...
Before it was broken.
Yeah.
Still was good.
They're still the 52 player, 52 gal player of all time here. Yeah, Hypernova, 2 quick power claims in, but Remedy already moving so quick. That was like a squid roll or something that just did not show up on spec cam there. Wiper not able to deal super well with those splash walls there, so Hypernova going to kind of stabilize here, and that's going to enable them to really lock down, but actually not quite. Nick able to find 2 picks here, helping Remedy's push stay alive. They're just kind of stalling. It's just a triple ink strikes waiting room here. Nick moving up towards the spinner. They're going to back up just in the nick of time. The pencil able to clear some space here. Now here comes a big push, potentially. No, actually, the push ends up going off before strikes and the other specials are able to come out. So now Remedy's push is going to end up a bit of a flop here.
Yeah, Remedy not able to quite clear that. Like we were talking about earlier, it's a hard map to break in all the way to basket on. It is a map where you are fighting tooth and nail for every inch once you are on the enemy plat, and Bully making that even more of a fight, cleaning up around those ledges with that range blaster, helping Synapse get in. One of the nice things about having the range blaster is it does provide that excellent crossfire for shooters to get in and skirmish with.
Yeah, absolutely. And the different like angles of this map just helps you really clear it out for your aggressive like shooter players and whatnot. But something like that wiper which normally gives the Range Blaster a lot of trouble, not quite able to make that difference just yet. So we'll keep an eye out for that later in the game to see whether that really takes effect here. But Hypernova in control of the game again. Oh my god, the 2 chips. That might have been like bomb defense coming in clutch there. Range Blaster on that left side moving in, not able to find a pick, running out of paint. They end up getting taken out. Now this is 2 members down. Remedy has a big opportunity here trying to move in. They already have 2 power claims at the ready, and they are going to begin moving up. Synapse able to find a pick, help Hypernova stabilize a bit though.
I will say that even if they manage to get the 2 power claims in, they do need to manage to get a couple, well, 1 more exactly in. Thanks to the fact that Hypernova's opening push was the 2 power claims. I always say that aiming for at least a push of 60 on your opening is important, and we might see that come into play here as we're seeing them have to back off. Not even going to be able to pick up their own cooler. Basket getting broken, lead easily switching over to Remedy. Remedy just putting down the points there, getting all the way to 42. And now Nick finally getting cleaned up. But we're going to see Hypernova have to reclaim mid with 1.5 minutes left to make this push happen. And they have not gotten anywhere near the other side, really, since that first push of theirs.
Yeah, they've certainly been playing defense for the majority of the game. 3 members locking a member of Remedy into spawn. Actually, the Kraken gets taken out. That's a surefire way to get in, but it's not going to come out. This time, the Zuka does not find anybody either. Hypernova, just a minute left in the game. They have clams, but they don't have a way in just yet. The strikes are going to come out really aggressively. Nick closing in on Synapse over on that left side. They're not able to find it just yet. A nice splash wall placement is going to enable Hypernova to kind of skirmish here. The Kraken finds a pick. The hammer as well as 1 more. They're chasing down the last member. This is the opportunity Hypernova's waiting for. The power clam comes in. 7 clams on the side of the pencil. They need to make their way to basket, but there's members guarding it. Do they have a way in? They're trying to make their way forward. They made a power clam in time, and that's the lead.
What a back and forth game we've been seeing so far. It is just both teams fighting tooth and nail, both of them knowing that they have a chance at making this league if they can get past this set. This set is definitely 2 teams that are very evenly matched.
Really smart play there from the pencil. They were able to make the power clam in time. They would not have lived long enough in order to get the clams in individually, but Remedy storming back in the hammer, making a shield for the other power clams, trying to make their way in, but multiple members on Remedy are taken out. It's just nap time, holding a power clam really far back, and now you can't just sit back. The Range Blaster clearing that space. Nick finds a pick.
Oh, just
3 members down on Hypernova. They just need that power clam in the basket, and there they go. Remedy takes game 2.
Ooh, really great job there on Remedy's part of just waiting to push until they found the picks they needed and able to clean up Synapse enough to get in. Being able to take out that Range Blaster is absolutely what allowed that push to be what it was. Because the Range Blaster and Pencil together were just able to zone them out for so long, but they weren't able to get their 2 shooters in far enough to help push them out further.
Yeah, there's kind of like slow weapons, just kind of wait for you to make a move, and the longer you just sit around, the less, or the easier it makes their job. So Nick just kind of storming in, getting that pick on the Range Blaster, really opened it up for,
for Remedy.
For Remedy there. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Really great job there. Hypernova and Remedy.
I thought I was imagining the music there for a second, so I was sorry, I'm still a little bit tired.
It's okay.
I'm still waking up here. I was like, where is this music coming from?
Well, this set is definitely one that'll help you wake up with how back and forth it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these clamblets pushes back and forth through music to my ears for sure.
Yes.
This set could go all the way, given how close this has been so far. We're going to be moving on to tower control. Oh my god, is that Umami?
It does seem to be Umami. It's not what I'm seeing on Sendo. On Sendo, I'm seeing Mako. So.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'd expect Mako before Umami.
I have not seen that tower. I have not seen tower. I mean, I'm glad it's not tower Umami. I don't. Oh, that map just ends in no time at all. Yes.
Especially with a Range Blaster. How do you push into a Range Blaster on Umami Tower?
Yeah. It can certainly be difficult, but I mean, you're not getting that much leeway on Mako either.
No.
The map just got a little bit smaller.
It definitely did. It's definitely a bucket and blaster map. It's where they're happiest. I remember even when we didn't see a ton of machine in Splatoon 2, this map machine would still come out on.
Yeah, it's certainly a very strong map for weapons that can hit around and above those stacks, but still
Ooh, Neo
very good
Splash.
if you can get aggressive and into the enemy spawn, as we saw in that previous set.
Yes.
Yeah, that Neo Splash, I believe, is that Toyoben on it. Yep. Coming out with the strikes. I'm interested that Toyoben is kind of swapped around between like Tentatek and Neo Splash here. I think the suction bomb probably going to be useful on tower control. The strikes very valuable here. Here they come. The strikes come in. Hypernova looking to break things wide open here with those strikes. Nick wisely jumping out after running out of space here. But no picks just yet. Finally, one member on each side goes down. A second member as well picked off, but they did have the cooler, and now Remedy actually forced to kind of back off into their spawn here. Hypernova with an early advantage.
Yeah, Hypernova definitely in a good situation here, waiting to move forward a little bit until they have a bit more control. Their range going down there is unfortunate. It's definitely going to be a situation where we see teams skirmish in mid for quite a while before we get any forward momentum, like those strikes just proved. Both teams just fighting tooth and nail to get mid under control. We now see 2 players down on Remedy. Hypernova probably going to look to start moving forward. 2 players down is generally an okay time to start pushing in tower control. Obviously, there's a lot more nuance to it than that. But 2 players down is generally an okay time to go, yeah, we can try and push at least.
Yeah, and importantly, they had the range blaster kind of guarding this ledge here, but all of the paint forcing the range out. Nice work from Remedy, clearing out mid. There's still, yeah, okay, there was that one member in the alley, but they were taken out. Synapse not able to be as sneaky as he was really hoping for there.
Yeah.
But Remedy now with a much cleaner first push towards that checkpoint. The strikes are going to slow things down considerably though, but I think this may still be the checkpoint for Remedy. Just the hammer clearing off space. You can't really drop into that. Oh, but the pencil's taken out on tower. Yeah, I think Synapse coming from mid really just forced them to get off the tower for long enough. So still a neutral game.
Synapse have definitely been a player known to pull off some sneaky flanks, and that's just another example of it. We're seeing the pencil just helping clear space, helping keep paint down, managing to hold on to lead by a point. I wouldn't say that we should expect either of these scores to be final scores from either team, though. 77, not very far, and that is a lead switch. Once we see the next checkpoint fall, I'll have a few more opinions. But right now, it's still a pretty neutral game.
Yeah, the Wiper moving up into that top left, not able to find anything, but Remedy did have enough time to get that checkpoint there. So still worthwhile. 3 members up. I believe the Wiper was coolered as well. So both teams just kind of, you know, playing games, a war of attrition here, just trying to take little advantages and trying to make the most out of them. But big picks here too on that right side. Nick moves around this tower without that first checkpoint in the way. Could go really far here. The pencil trying to, pressured on tower by the 52, but man, all of the pressure coming out. 52 not able to sit there. The tower moving all the way in, all the way at that second checkpoint. Big push for Remedy.
But just 1 player left up. It is the splatter shot. Pencil has respawned. But we're seeing Hypernova being able to reclaim mid. Getting mid is the first step in pushing, but they don't have a lot of time left here. They're getting close to cooler, but the game is half over. And they can't quite manage to find their footing with the Neo Splash going down. But I say that 2 players on each side. Gonna be a hard push to make happen, but the range is there. Able to hit the direct. Gonna get taken out by the hammer. And they're just trying to stay alive here, it seems. They can't find a way to get past that ledge area.
Yeah, it's been really nice defense coming out from the side of Remedy here. But finally, going 2 members down, 3 members down actually. This is a big opportunity. The cooler, a makeshift wall, able to help the pencil stay alive. It's like surprisingly good against Zuka.
It is.
In particular. So nice awareness. Hypernova is going to get the first checkpoint. Nick moving in behind the tower, stalls it long enough, combining with the Wiper. Nick looking to slow the tower down even more. They do find another pick. Yeah, he's kind of going off here, and that's going to enable Remedy to get back into the game. And they even he even has strikes here to try and finish off the game with 30 seconds left. Yeah. Remedy in a very strong position.
Nick has done an incredible job with this slosher at playing around Synapse's walls and playing around the fact that this is the best slosher stage in the game. Like, slosher's good everywhere right now. But on this map especially, this has always been Slosher's map. It's where it wants to live. It's where it thrives. And Nick has been showing that off to an extreme throughout this game.
That was so unfortunate. The pencil trying to jump out, but ending up right where they started. I believe they might have jumped to someone like jumping in or something, or just a button mispressed. But Remedy still in control of the game. They're going to take it. They're up 2-1 after coming back in game 2, and then just being in complete control of that third game.
Yeah, really great gameplay out of Remedy. Definitely players we expect to see play well. It's not a surprise that they're doing as well as they are, but it is nice to see.
It certainly is. We're going to be moving on to game 4 in just a moment. Yeah, this hammer here, we tend not to see Wiper that much in general, and I know I just saw a post on on Twitter that was like, hammer sucks. It's so much worse than Reef Slider and Splashdown and Kraken.
What?
But no, I think this was like, I don't know, remember if it was like, I think it was Zenith who posted this. So I trust her.
That's fair. I happen to think it is better than Reef Slider for most modes, personally.
It's like the fact that it's just so inconsistent, you can't rely on it. But something it is very good at is sitting under a ledge and stopping people from like dropping or getting close to it, and that's exactly what members of Remedy were able to do there. Yeah, this jump, unfortunate, but did not end up mattering in the end. So that hammer getting a lot of value, even though I think on this map, like, I feel like this is a map where Wiper doesn't sound...
Yeah. I mean, it definitely doesn't sound terrible there, but it doesn't sound like it'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I know hammer is certainly very good there.
Yes.
But moving back to zones. Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to highlight Nick a little bit more, because Nick did such an excellent job on that slosher and kept getting picks on Synapse over their walls, which is huge, because otherwise the 52 gal just kind of eats the map alive for breakfast if you can't take them out around their wall. And that Nick taking advantage of the high ground on this map and just taking advantage of Slosher being able to hit over things made such a huge difference there.
Yeah, it certainly does. We've actually been seeing that in both of our sets so far. Yes. Gals have featured prominently, as well as those buckets. We'll be seeing, I think, probably some more of these splash walls here on zones. Pretty flat map in the middle here, so just got to be careful of Synapse on that 52 being aggressive. Hypernova did win the first zones game, so
yeah, they definitely seemed like a good zones team. How many trip strikes do you think we're going to see on this map? Because this is a map where I have definitely seen some trip strike spam.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be the one for each team, but they've certainly been very patient about how they've been using them, trying to get them pretty much every time before they move in. Yeah, both teams kind of sticking with their guns here. Interesting. Both teams very comfortable with what they're going for. Actually, interesting. Synapse opting for that left side with the 52 gal, trying to get members sitting over by this like little wall here. Yeah, you can kind of race enemy teams or enemies up there. Oh my god, nearly great. Little duck and direct from Pulley, but not quite able to get it. That's going to be Hypernova. Finding a couple picks here, 2 jumps coming back into the zone here. Hypernova with a lot of control, but it's the Wiper on the left side who's able to find a pick as well as start distracting members of Hypernova, and Remedy able to just kind of bounce back, get back the zone, and start their first hold of the game. The strikes keeping members of Hypernova into their spawn, forcing them to wait a little bit at least before they begin their push.
Yeah, strikes coming out here, allowing Hypernova a chance to try and move forward, neutralizing the zone, Pulley using this Kraken to help brute force their team members in, chasing down the pencil, going to be able to scare them out, forcing them to jump out. Synapse going to be able to move forward. Being able to set up a wall there is absolutely huge. Will allow them to stay there for so much longer. Getting that whale out, holding this area. The Zuka coming out, not quite managing to find anyone. And this is going to be a lead switch over to Hypernova, but as we've been over, zones is all about the retakes.
Yeah, it certainly is. Synapse on the 52 forced out. Remedy moving back in. They're able to find 2 very clean picks. The Range Blaster and Pencil, only members left on the side of Hypernova. So really clean push back in here. Yep, the sprinkler up top. Nice stuff. I'm waiting for that every time. It's such a good spot. It's really, really good. and like the only person who's going to be able to hit it is the pencil on the other team, and the strikes, of course. So Hypernova, using
God, I
those
miss
strikes,
Object
able to
Shredder.
paint back the zone and destroy the malevolent sprinkler
It is
hanging from the ceiling.
It is malevolent. I hate objects in Splatoon. Fun fact about me, if you're ever playing against me and just want to win, just put an object in front of me. I won't do anything but think about, I need to destroy that object. There will be a full wipe on the enemy team, and I'll look at a splash wall and go, I need that gone. I don't run Object Shredder anymore, but I miss it. I love Object Shredder. Do I think you need to run it right now? Absolutely not. Do I think it's nice to have? Yeah. Who needs stealth jump when you can simply get rid of the sprinkler on ramen in one shot?
I mean, it's true. It's very. If you don't get rid of it, you're not going to take back the zone here. Wiper kind of playing from under. They did jump back to the plat here. Yeah, still wars of attrition coming out on both sides. Neither team able to get the big plays that are needed to really lock the game away here. Synapse on the 52 in a tough spot here. Oh my god, double teamed, but the whales, running out of space to go here, and Synapse already respawning before the members see that respawn screen here. Range Blaster with that Kraken, able to clear out the plat. Hypernova has control of the zone here, but they need the paint in order to really contest. I mean, the Range Blaster not going to really help Hypernova out in terms of paint here, but the Wiper in spawn going to do a lot of work. Yes, really, really good. This is exactly what Remedy needs to put the game away. They just need to really get up into the enemy spawn. Both teams still playing very patient here. Oh my god, get the Wiper slipping in, and that's a pick on the pencil. That means there's no coolers going to be coming out, and that's going to enable the Zuka to get so much value. Nap time finds 2. Time is ticking down. 25 seconds. The jumps begin to come back in. This could be the end of the set.
It could be. This very well could be. Game point, but the strikes coming out give Hypernova one more chance. They flip the zone. 1 minute left on the clock. They need to figure out how to get this hold. And part of that is going to come down to how well Synapse can scrim here. And with Synapse out, that's going to become much harder. Of course, Poli could just decide to hit a million directs, but doesn't quite manage to pull that off. Easier said than done.
Yeah, the Zukas, oh my god. The Zukas over that tiny little wall Naptime has just been targeting that one particular spot because it's such a safe spot to sit when the specials are coming out. But Remedy still, they've been doing such a great job staying alive, playing really stably, not going too many members down, getting the coolers, just staying alive. And yeah, we've seen... We've seen Naptime use Zuka there from there like 4 times, and as I say that, standing 2 still, Poli finds 2 with that Range Blaster, no penalty online. The Kraken comes out, there's no waiting around here. The Kraken moves in, the hammer on that left side, the Kraken's going to run out. They charge in, not able to find it in time. The paint and the strikes come out, the Wiper chasing down the pencil, the strikes come out, the time is ticking, 1 point game. There's too many members of Hypernova here, they're fighting for the zone, they're going to get the lead and tie up the set.
And that is going to be us going into game 5 here in winners round 2. Going to be going into another Clan Blitz game. What an incredible job there on Hypernova's part of just cleaning that up, knowing what they needed to do, knowing how they needed to hold it, and keeping enough mental to keep painting the zone at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big play, Poli on that Range Blaster, I feel like they're finding spots just kind of slip in and find 2 picks just when they need it most. Towards the end there, we saw the specials coming out from Remedy, the Zuka in particular, and they just did not realize that Blaster was close enough. Those 2 picks enabling Hypernova to get into Remedy's spawn and just begin clearing space, especially that Kraken, forcing the members of Hypernova to move quickly, not waste any time. And just that time, the extra stall it created was enough to get the members to jump back in for Hypernova. And we are finally in our game 5 on Clam Blitz.
Yeah, Umami Clams is always an interesting one. It, to me, has a lot of similarities with Inkblot Clams because it's usually a one big push map. Each team gets 1 chance at pushing, and that's usually about it. And half the time that 1 push ends in a KO, and half the time the 1 push is to 80, and neither team really does anything the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, This is a map where there's a little jump from the block onto the enemy dome, and if you're able to get that, that's like the safest way in, just because it's the farthest from the enemy spawn. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that. We might see like strikes enabling that. We might see a Kraken enabling that. But the strikes are certainly going to be a big factor
Yes.
here, because trying to push to the enemy plat is like a big choke point.
It is probably one of the hardest choke points to get through in the game. I know we were talking about how it's hard to push on museums earlier. Umami makes that look like chump change. Like, Umami is, how do I keep anyone from pushing ever in Clam Blitz? If it's tower control, you can push in your sleep. But if it's clams, God forbid you tried to move forward on the map on Umami. You've got to make sure you have your specials. You've got to make sure you have a couple picks. And that you have enough clams to actually make a sizable push.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you try and push in through that low ground, you kind of get hit by splat bombs. And speaking of splat bombs, Toyobin on the junior. I haven't seen Toyobin on the junior in a hot minute, but
Has it
I'm
been since
happy to see
Splatoon 2?
that. I'm not sure, but
Might have been.
Toyobin played a lot of junior in Splat 2 as well. So
that is an interesting note about both of these teams, is they are made up of a lot of Splatoon players that have been around since definitely Splatoon 2, maybe Splatoon 1.
Yeah, the bubble coming out. I mean, those bubbles going to be useful at least against Inkzuka, not so useful against the strikes or the hammer here. Pulley on that right side, looking for some stray picks. They're not able to find it. Both teams just trying to vie for top mid here, but neither team able to really come out on top. Range Blaster, oh, not able to find the pick. They nearly had it, but Remedy going to be able to triple team them and begin their push. The strikes come in. They have a lot of clams for a big push here. Yep, that dome so important. The Wiper moving up there. They're able to start locking it down. They are not able to find the pick on the Blaster, and so Remedy forced to back up and play defense.
Yeah, they could have definitely had that push there. It seems like they almost moved up just a hair too slow to be able to make it happen. That is the thing about Clam Blitz on this map, even more so than others, is that you have to be so quick on the uptake. Nap Time looking to find the pick on Polly there, able to. And we're seeing another chance at a push here from Remedy. Able to get one in. We'll see if they can find more follow-up.
Yeah, that first power climb coming in from Remedy. They don't have too much follow-up, though. So, yeah, just the fact that Synapse is up on the dome here prevents a lot of pressure from Remedy to move in here. Synapse finding two, going to find a third off of that jump, and this is going to enable Synapse with that splash wall to move all the way up to the enemy plat to that dome. That's going to clear so much space. Oh my, that was
not the
so
slap bomb on the bubble.
I know, and on the jump too, perfectly timed. That's going to be the first power clam in, but actually not that many clams coming out from Hypernova. They're going to be forced to back up here. Not quite that 2 power clam mark. The clams are still coming in, though. There's a lot of space thanks to that 52 wall moving up. Big push. Hypernova has a big lead now. 2 members going down. The Range Blaster gets taken out. Now it's 3 members down on the side of Hypernova. Remedy has mid back again. They have some clams. They're getting ready to go here. They have Zuka as well as they did have the Zuka as well as the hammer, but they're not able to find anything just yet. They need a big push with only 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that was such a huge entry made by Synapse there for Hypernova, and now Remedy needs to find a way to remedy their situation. Sorry, had to happen once. Toya been doing a great job defending this choke point here. Splat Bomb's so good at doing that. You know, we do forget how good bomb spam is sometimes as a community, and I'm glad we do. But also, bomb spam is so good and so strong, and Junior is so good at it. And Toyabin's just doing an excellent job exemplifying that. Junior can't really do a ton from that vantage point other than throw bombs, but my god, is it a safe spot to roll some splat bombs from?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that splat bomb rolling over the dome, taking out Junior, and the Kraken taking out the hammer as well. Oh my god, just an instant answer to that hammer. Good stuff. Kraken finding one more. Always just turn around the last minute. Nobody sees it coming with the Kraken. And yeah, Remedy forced to back up. Still at a huge player disadvantage and score disadvantage. They need a way in. 1 minute left in the game. after some nice comebacks from them earlier in the set, they're looking to they need to make a big play here. Naptime waiting on that last clam, trying to surprise the members of Hypernova with a push in. They get it, waiting for the Zuka now. Lots of clams online. Here come the strikes. That's going to clear some space. The hammer moving in towards the basket. They're not able to find a pick just yet.
The bubble
comes out. They're going to have to wait it out. Nick moves into the bubble, finds a pick. 2 power clams come in. They both make it into the basket, but that's not enough. They need
that was almost a
power
junior
clam worth,
triple.
but they don't have it.
Joy have been doing a great job there on that junior. It's junior can fight at one range, and it is the range of the bubble. You do have to enter it to fight them, but it is the one way that they have a chance with you in a firefight. And right now, we're going to see Remedy have a very hard time. They do have a power clam ready, so they have another chance at this. Hypernova just needs to play smart and play safe. They don't need to take any huge risks. They are doing a great job of extending into mid and not trying to overextend. We do see the range go down there, though.
Yeah, range goes down. Hypernova. The fact they pushed with 30 seconds left gives them one more shot at this. 2 members go down. The strikes move in. Naptime moving towards the basket. They need to clear the pencil out. They back it up. The power clam goes in. Naptime has a few more clams. They're going to score them. They need more clams from mid. They need 4 more clams. Do they have a way in? It's the pencil who has them. They find 1 pick on the range blaster. They need to move in. They aren't able to get it. That's 3 members down. Naptime moving in. They find 2 clams, but that's not enough. No jumps. Oh, Nick makes it back to the basket, but not able to score it. Hypernova hanging on just barely.
Hypernova having to fight tooth and nail there. Lots of great plays out of all of the members to keep that basket just safe enough. You don't need to win cleanly. You just need to win.
Ooh, boy.
Oof.
All of these games coming down to the wire here. Hypernova just barely coming out on top.
What a great set.
This is just round 2.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. I love these qualifications for invitationals. I always think they're so exciting. They bring out such great teams, such great players, and there's so much on the line for these players because everyone wants to play in an invitational. Who doesn't want to play in an invitational? It makes you feel cool. One of the best things you can do in Splatoon. And it's been a minute since we had one, so I'm sure it is all the more competitive to all of these players to get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, the bubbles here coming out from
Good
Toyoben
bubbles.
just helping lock the game away. I'm surprised the power clams there were able to make it to the basket, but nonetheless, Hypernova hanging on despite losing game 2 in overtime, nearly putting the set away a little bit earlier. They are going to be moving on, and I think we may take a look at the bracket here.
Yeah. I do want to give some credit to Synapse there. Synapse did a really great job of skirmishing and getting their teammates in and allowing their range blaster to be able to get their range blaster that little bit of extra time they need to set up. Because playing 52 Gal is all about how much space can I control and how long can I distract people with it. And Synapse has always been one of the best at that.
Yeah, they certainly have, and I think, man, that set really could have gone either way. But I'm definitely interested in how Toyoben had kind of been switching around weapons, very slightly, playing slightly different flavors of support here.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at that.
Ooh.
Healthy Diet up 1-0 on
That's
Comp Diff.
exciting.
I told you gotta look out for them here.
You
Comp
do.
Diff, Comp Diff is oh wow, Urza, Punchy, Aloha, and Jacerok. Okay.
Wow, that's a strong comp.
Haven't seen Urza play in a hot minute. So
Yeah, they were playing with Alliance Rogue there for a while.
Yeah.
But Alliance Rogue disbanded, I guess, a while ago now. It doesn't feel that long ago, but I guess it
Time
was like
isn't
6
real.
months or something.
Time's not real. It doesn't matter.
Sometimes while you get your master's degree, time stops existing, I guess.
Time hasn't existed in the last 5 years anyhow. So
That's so true. Oh, yeah. The moment you start getting older, time gets so warped and different than it was when you were... I think, the moment you graduate your undergrad, time changes drastically.
Yeah, things are different when you're not you don't have every moment broken down, every year broken down into semesters and quarters, and projects due every 2 weeks or something like that. things
Yeah,
things are a little bit different. But
they are.
after that exciting set, we're gonna take a short break to catch our breaths, and we'll be right back with another exciting set. Stay tuned.
never felt like do-do-do-do-do-do. I never felt like do-do-do-do-do. Baby, stay with me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You gotta tell now. Do-do-do-do-do. I never felt like do-do-do-do-do. I never felt like do-do-do-do-do. Baby, stay with me. Do-do-do-do-do. You gotta tell now. Do-do-do-do-do. I never felt like do-do-do-do-do. I never felt like do-do-do-do-do. Baby, stay with me. Do-do-do-do-do. You gotta tell now.
Hello, everybody. We are back here with 20XX League Qualifier 2. I'm Nox. I'm joined by Fusion. And we have Dat Kid Fan Club versus a team name, quite frankly, I don't even know how to begin trying to pronounce.
Do we even try?
I mean, I'm guessing AU is Ow. And then
Ow.
Agamir Zaijen Agard? That's my best guess, and it's probably a bad guess.
That's better than my best guess.
I used some accidental Latin pronunciation in there, which is almost surely wrong because it's usually wrong. I don't think AE makes the I sound in many languages. I don't know if that's a language though, because I tried putting it in Google Translate and it didn't say anything, but it could be a language and I could just not know because that's always an option. There's always a world where I don't know things. I'm gonna try Google Translate again.
I think it
because
sounds
it's
like
my
a
only
keyboard
guess.
smash.
It does a little bit. Does a lot. But I'm not gonna... I don't want to say it's a keyboard smash. Because what if it is a language and I don't know?
That's true. It's a little bit hard to know for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's not often that I see a name and go, I can't figure out how to place that at all. But they've done it.
We could attempt to pronounce it.
I mean, I did attempt. I did my best attempt. And now I've looked at it and gone,
What are we gonna say when
Double A.
We're in the heat of the moment?
Double A.
Ah.
I mean, look. I think sometimes teams name themselves just so commentators can't say it.
You see the dog in the sunglasses? That kind of goes hard.
I do. It does go hard. I do like the dog in the sunglasses. Dat Kid Fan Club is a fun team to see coming out here. Nilla is a player that used to play Tent a lot. I'd love to see Tent come out here. I don't expect to see Tent come out here, but it would be cool.
And who knows what that kid's gonna pull out. That kid just literally pulls weapons out of a hat.
Good for Dat Kid. Sometimes you need to use the random weapon generator and just play a tournament like that. I've never had people do that with me, for sure. I've not played in many SOSs with people random weaponing, for sure. Oh wow, we're starting on Inkblot Tower and then going to Mako Zones. Wow.
Hey, we haven't seen Inkblot Tower yet.
I'm still gonna be angry about it as a treat for me.
Inkblot Tower.
I want to go.
I like it.
I want to go one tournament without talking about Inkblot Tower. I would like to not see it for a month, and then I'd be over my wrath, probably.
Yeah,
but everywhere I go, there's Inkblot
you.
Tower. Everywhere. I went to go play solo queue the other day, and there was Inkblot Tower and Mako Tower, and I was like, I'm not even looking at actual comp right now. I am playing solo queue.
Honestly, great rotation.
No.
Usually when I go, it's like Rainmaker, Lemuria, Wahoo.
You know, I'll take anything over Bluefin Depot. I get like motion sick playing Bluefin Depot for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot play that map.
The zones or just anywhere?
Any zones is the worst of it. Actually, I can do Rainmaker there. Rainmaker and Clams have been fine.
Ooh, Rainmaker.
Well, I didn't say
God.
it was good. It just doesn't make me motion sick.
Rainmaker and Clams there make me
I mean, they make me angry.
make me upset. Yeah.
But they don't make me motion sick, which is a step up. But we are going to be getting into TC here. TC Inkblot. Inkbrush coming out, always fun to see. Lots of fun weapons, actually. They're very unique comps. I love seeing the bamboo. Red Rum is a bamboo player for forever.
Yeah. Happy to see it. It's going to be the whale bamboo coming out here. I think I've seen bamboo players pull out like the chumps one on like more open maps and not tower control, you know.
Good opening here coming out of
usually Rainmaker and tower.
Yeah, good opening there out of team name we can't pronounce. Yeah, ow.
Ow.
Ow. Red Rum finding a great pick there, looking to help put a lot of pressure on. Not a position we see anchor weapons in, but then again, bamboo's not really an anchor. It's its own special thing. It's doing a secret third thing.
It's shooting people's toes.
It's good at shooting people's toes. It has the bigger hitbox like the pencil does, but without 5 shots or cooler. And less range. Poor bamboo. Got its gimmick stolen.
Actually, I'm not sure who is Echo the brush?
No, Trizzy is on brush.
Oh,
Trizzy
right.
has been a brush
Trizzy's
player for
Yes.
forever.
I didn't see Trizzy was in the roster. Yeah, Trizzy brush player. Very solid. We don't see Inkbrush too frequently, but we have seen. I feel like there have been a surprising number of whales, like in the meta recently, that we've been seeing. Yeah, not able to find anything out of that brush there. The blaster kind of shutting things down, and yeah, actually, I think CRB is probably the most normal thing I've ever seen.
That kid.
Seen that kid play.
It's not a sploosh. I'm surprised. Trizzy looking to find a pick here. Not going to be able to. Getting that kid hitting a great direct. Miner moving forward. Miner, once again, this is just a lobby full of players that we've seen forever that definitely all have the qualifications to make it into this league.
Yeah, and now Tower moving all the way to that second checkpoint. The strikes opening the way. The pencil's in a really good aggressive position. Man, the Zuka clearing the way for Miner. Miner moving all the way into bats. The strike's going to slow the tower down, and that's a really good time to put the strikes on. You kind of can't drop and just get right back onto the tower. You have to drop back down into mid. There's nowhere else to really go, but Red Rum locking things down. Ow. Managing to hang on to a good amount of control here in mid.
Yeah, they're now going to be looking to move forward, looking to claim a lot more space. Dat Kid Fan Club, I think their current goal is to maintain their plot and to find a way to break in. They're going to be looking for some opening pick to break in for themselves, but they have to deal with Trizzy and Red Rum getting those whales out, causing chaos, forcing them to move into positions they likely don't want to be in, but Trizzy getting taken out right away should allow Dat Kid Fan Club to start moving up through mid here.
Yeah, Dat Kid Fan Club has that first checkpoint out of the way, so they're able to move quickly. Bazooka kind of clearing, trying to clear some space with it, not able to really find anything. Oh my god. Alice just watching Echo, I believe, just get shot in the face with the Zuka. Dat Kid taking the Zuka's place, finding another pick as well. Dat Kid Fan Club has been pretty much in control of this game, though the score isn't so clear. Actually, there may be.
Yeah.
Is there someone on the enemy flat? No, they did get taken out. Al has struggled to get out of mid here, but Dat Kid Fan Club still hasn't put this game out of their reach just yet.
No, definitely not. It's definitely a situation where it could be anyone's game. Tower control and zones are very similar modes. Tower control is pretty much just a moving zone. It's a very slow set pace. It's all about retakes and controlling essentially a mini zone that moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this could be the opening Dat Kid Fan Club kind of wanted here. If they can get that second checkpoint out of the way, that's the biggest roadblock on this map. They even have the strikes to clear it off. The strikes and the Zuka come out at the same time. The tower moving up. Yes, it's going to be Dat Kid Fan Club taking out Trizzy in the bats, moving up. This should be checkpoint, but the strikes come out yet again. Now here come all of the members of OW trying to drop in, but they drop right into a Kraken, and Trizzy explodes on a delayed timer.
Sometimes you're a brush player, so you explode a lot. That's what brush players do. I like seeing a brush come out. It is definitely a hard weapon to make work. It is not kind. But luckily, brushes run QR, so they can explode. It's just a Tetra, but different, you know? It's a Tetra with a better special.
That's fair. Yeah, man. The Kraken's still just pushing the tower. Dat Kid trying to get some extra points on the board. They're gonna move up into the bats. Oh my god. Dropping right into the bamboo.
Chaos. Ooh, good direct.
Out of it. That's illegal.
That should be illegal.
OW has a lot of work cut out for them.
Yes.
They have to get past so many members in overtime, but they do find the picks they need. Oh, they need to touch the tower though. The strikes coming in at just an inopportune time there. Nicely placed. Right after the members needed to drop off tower to get those picks. So that's going to be game 1 to Dat Kid Fan Club.
Yeah, Dat Kid Fan Club doing a great job there, putting out a lot of pressure, doing a lot of work. And I liked their comp. It was pretty conventional, but I liked the way it played off of each other. I liked the way their weapons could play off of each other. I think it had a lot of synergy. And wow, is it nice to see mid lines. I know we've seen them for most of Splatoon 3, but there were just years where there weren't mid lines, and I liked them. They're so nice, and they change up the pace of the game. Wow. I'm not still traumatized from the end of Splatoon 2 at all, obviously. I'm normal about it.
Yeah, but it is interesting to see like a variety of like weapons be good. I think we've seen all the blasters be good, all the buckets be good. Well,
the buckets
shouldn't say all the blasters. I mean, Clash and Luna don't really exist, but
rough for both of them. I think Clash could exist on Mac OTC if it wanted to. I think it could have a job. I think Clash Blaster could exist if it wanted to. I'll die on my Clash Blaster hill. No. Clash Blaster, look, think about the height of Mako's walls. They're perfect for Clash Blaster, made for Clash Blaster. And we're getting right into it here on the classic, the constant. We're seeing a pretty similar comp come out here from OW. They did switch over to a Neo Splash, so they will have those trip strikes. Both teams will have them. Obviously, OW will have them far more often. And 2 whales. I really like double whale. I think if you're going to run 1 whale, you might as well run 2 a lot of the time. I think they play very nicely with each other and just provide that constant overwhelming chip. But we need to see if they can actually break in this time, because last time they really struggled to do that, and it seems that they might be struggling to again.
Yeah, Dat Kid Fan Club has an early advantage, and they are just able to clear out the members of OW without too much difficulty. I feel like Trizzy's had a hard time really getting in and getting the value that they really wanted here. Ooh. Oh my god, the strikes. not able to do much, kind of making them a sitting duck for the Zuka. The zone does get flipped. That's going to be a penalty onto that Kid Fan Club, but still out, locked into their spawn, trying to find somewhere to go, not able to make their way back in just yet. They really need to like rely on those strikes to get back into the zone, and so they've had a bit of a hard time really flipping the paint. So they're going to end up trying to push back into the zone. Here come the strikes. 2 members of that Kid Fan Club on the right stack. That's going to be the zone flipped and 2 members down as well. That Kid Fan Club forced to back up on that right side, and Ao has a little bit of leverage here.
Yeah, Ao definitely has some leverage now, looking to try and move forward. Bamboo versus Pencil fight, but the Pencil gets some backup. Ellis looking to try and hold this zone on their own, but the Blaster playing cleanup beautifully. Dat Kid just doing an excellent job on that range Blaster. You know, not surprising out of Dat Kid, but nice to see. Nice to see Range Blaster back on its throne.
Yeah, Range Blaster has certainly been very popular, even though I hate the fact that Kraken is in this game.
Yeah.
Range exists now. Like a Trizzy just kind of like walking back and forth to dodge the Range Blaster. Still not going to be able to get in though, as Ao kind of still stuck in their spawn. Here comes the Kraken here. Yeah, you're not walking past that Kid says. And they're going to lock members of Ao, keep the timer ticking as Ao makes their way back to the zone, finds the picks as that Kraken finally runs out, and Dat Kid's forced to back up here. So now multiple members down and a pick on the Range Blaster. It's a big stagger coming out. So Ao has an opportunity to get a lot of points here.
Yeah, Ao going to be looking to really move forward and capitalize off the picks they've gotten. Strikes coming out to help them even further. Red Rum fully pushed up, not a position you see a Bamboo in very often, but Red Rum has played it for forever and feels confident on it, able to hold this space in their base, finally having to back off. But Trizzy now sharking there, looking for the opportunity to find a pick. Going to be able to find at least one there, but no, not quite able to get cleaned up beautifully by Miner in the shot. Getting movement forward, going to be able to not flip, actually not able to flip zone in time. Dat Kid now chasing around. But Dat Kid needs to get past these penalty points to take lead back.
Yeah, despite multiple members going down, playing super aggressive from Ao, they're able to take back the lead. So now, with a little bit of a penalty online, they have some specials to get back in. They have a whale, they have a strikes, but penalty is ticking down. There's a member on the left side they need to be aware of. Yeah, it takes out the Bamboo. There's kind of sharking under the ledge here, and Range and Bucket move in just in the nick of time. So hard to strike against those kind of weapons, just sitting, watching you on your perch. The whale finds one whale, looking for even more. Trizzy on the side. Time's ticking down. Ao moving into the zone. They're going to have a lot of paint, and they're going to get the cap just before the game comes to a close.
Yeah, Ao definitely has way more paint on their side with their comp than Dat Kid does. Dat Kid is having to rely a lot more on good picks and good specials, whereas Ao can just go, we can outpaint you though. Which works great until you're having to play retake from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god. That cooler coming out just as Ellis is forced to completely jump out. The cooler is just going to sit there. Nobody's able to even grab a single soda. Ow, back in their spawn again. The cooler times out. And man, they're not able to get a special in that entire time, so no cooler coming out from Ao. They're going to have to make a move without it. 15 seconds left. They need to move in. Time's ticking down. The strikes come out, but that's the Kraken. The Bucket not able to find a pick in time. The strikes neutralize the zone. Ao moving in. They flip the zone with 30 seconds left on the clock. The Range Blaster gets a... That's not fair. That isn't fair.
Range Blaster doesn't play fair or nice. Range Blaster is a shenanigans weapon, is my stance. And I do like to see some shenanigans.
Shenanigans are fun. I don't like Kraken shenanigans.
That's fair. That's fair.
You stay pretty invincible pretty long with that.
Yeah, I don't love that Kraken's here, but it is. And you know?
Down. Oh my god, just a few more seconds online. 2 members picked off on the side of Dat Kid Fan Club. It's going to be Ao holding the zone in overtime. 30-second penalty online. They have the zone here. Trizzy moving up. They find one pig. That's big. It's on the pencil. There's no coolers, but 2 members go down.
And strikes
Dat Kid Fan
already.
Club gonna run for the zone. They don't have a Kraken online. The strikes come out. There's not enough paint to neutralize it. Dat Kid Fan Club takes another game.
Good awareness on Miner's part on that slosher to have those strikes ready for that overtime situation. Great awareness of when to use them, knowing that their shot would be able to move in with them, because their shot was their main paint, really. Because the Blaster isn't going to paint, the slosher isn't going to paint, the pencil will try and paint, but it paints weird. So they really needed the shot to be able to move up with those strikes to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, just we saw Ao trying to use the advantage their comp has just to try and play really aggressive and find the pick slick with Bamboo, because in a paint battle they're not going to be able to super contest like the pencil and the strikes coming out on the other side, but they weren't able to get the picks while moving ahead of the zone. But that could easily have gone another way if just like
Yes.
one more member goes down to Trizzy there. Yeah. Good,
It was
good
a way
attempt there.
closer game than the first game, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're going to be moving on to game 3. The next round after this, I believe, is semifinals.
Yeah.
So Clan Blitz Museum, we saw this once earlier. Ao needs to take this game to stay alive in winners.
Yeah, they definitely, and it's way better to stay in winners at this point. You don't want to have to keep fighting in losers for any longer than you have to. It is a double elim tournament, but it's way easier to just keep winning and not have to play more games if given the chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly good to put it away here. But Ao has been keeping it very close here, and I feel like Clan Blitz is a pretty good opportunity for Bamboo to kind of show its stuff. I
Definitely.
think, you know, on zones, it's a little bit like this weapon is meant for killing, or at least like poking for 90 something.
Yes.
So
I'd
you
also
kind of
like-
want to play it like, you don't want to play the mode where you have to paint the square, or you have to
It's not a paint
you
the
have to
square
target
weapon.
a very small like tower. So
Yeah, definitely better on Clan Blitz or even Rainmaker. But we haven't seen Rainmaker at all today. People not in the mood to play Rainmaker anymore.
I like Rainmaker.
I do
Rainmaker's
too.
fun.
I enjoy Rainmaker, but we sure haven't seen it today. The players. Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Apparently there's just no Rainmaker, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But we are going to be getting back into it here. Range blasters out on both sides, one custom, one regular, so there will be a wave breaker coming out on the side of Ao. Echo on that Rainmaker switching over from the shot. Definitely a way more lethal comp. I can see the range and Bamboo pairing very well with each other's damage. But Dat Menace going to have a lot more paint and space to work with.
Yeah, interesting to see the vanilla range. I think the wave breaker can be really good for kind of clearing out behind the enemy spinner. But of course, Kraken giving you a free win, and both of them have their advantages and disadvantages here. But it's going to be out with an early lead in mid here. They're going to have a lot of clams, a lot of paint, and well,
They did have those
a lot
things.
of ink on the ground before the Zuka came out, or after the Zuka came out.
Oh,
So that Kid
Zuka.
Fan Club back in control of things. The pencil getting top mid here. Oh, but you
Red
can't
Rum had
outcharge
something
a
to
bamboo. You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, a little too fast for the pencil to charge up.
Oh, that splat bomb almost cleaning up Trizzy, but Menace able to get that in the end. Margaret looking to move forward here, taking advantage of the range of that pencil, able to help their range blaster stay alive and keep that bamboo painted out for a bit longer. It's very much so one of those times where we're just seeing a stalemate in mid as both teams try and find their great opportunity to get going. Ao almost had one earlier before the Zuka did what Zuka does. And now we're seeing Dat Kid starting to set up for a potential opportunity, having way more control of mid than they have at other points in this game.
Yeah, range trying to challenge that pushing brush. Trizzy is taken out by a nice drop on that right side by a member of Dat Kid Fan Club, and now 2 members down on the side of Ao. Oh my god, Trizzy just coming in.
Trizzy coming in hot there.
Yeah, the aerial strike coming in. Trizzy taking out a member of Dat Kid Fan Club. The power claims are at the ready. 2 members of Dat Kid Fan Club pushing up aggressively, but they need to get all the way to the basket. The Zuka not able to find anyone just yet. The strikes come out. That's going to clear the path for that power claim, and 2 to make it to the basket. Potentially even 3. Do they have a way in? I don't think they do. Echo kind of locking things down, guarding it. Menace. Oh my god. Slick.
That was that was some extremely slick movement out of Menace, being so persistent and patient to get that clam in. 40 is a strong push on this map, definitely not unbeatable, but it is a strong push that gives them a lot of space and safety to play with.
Yeah, it certainly does. 3 power claims a lot to contest with.
Yes.
Here, Ellis over on that right side setting up the cooler, trying to help their team get a push. They don't have the specials they quite need to get in. You're relying on the double whale, which is a little bit tricky to kind of use consistently, like as an opening tool. It's kind of more of a I'm about to engage in a fight.
Yeah.
Give me an advantage in that fight, sort of thing. And not able to get the most value out of it. Trizzy trying to use it to move up here. This is the opportunity that they're looking for. Moving around the right side. The strikes. Oh my gosh. Taken.
Oh.
Not taken. What? Oh my
Wow.
God. Crazy.
Miner doing
Yeah,
a great job of just backing off
Single hit.
just enough. By a hair. Surviving. I'd imagine that Miner was one shot from death there.
I have to imagine. I can't imagine them being more than like 1 HP at the end there. The power clam makes its way to the basket. There's 10 clams sitting at the ready on the right side, but all members of Dat Kid Fan Club are alive here. They're not going to be able to score anymore just yet. But yeah, the flank on the left side is going to shut down this push in a big way. Trizzy finds one pick onto the blaster, but not enough to really give Ao the push that they needed here. 1 minute left. They need like 3 power clams in order to get this game back in their favor here, and they've had a hard time really making those consistent pushes so far.
Yeah, I think they've been having a hard time pushing into Dat Kid's comp. Like I said, I really love Dat Kid's comp. I think all of the weapons pair beautifully with each other. I think it is a comp we've been seeing more recently for a lot of reasons. I'm happy to see it coming out here. I think it works great. And the Trip Strike's coming out just the Zap left alive, and we're going to see Dat Kid Fan Club probably chasing them up onto their plat, because why not? I mean, I can think of a few reasons. You don't want to overextend. But it's always so tempting to get those few extra points.
Yeah, it certainly is. And still, Dat Kid Fan Club just unrelenting aggression. Miner finds a pick here. Dat Kid finds a pick on the left side with the range blaster that opens the gate for one more power clam to make its way in. Only 10 points on the board as a result of that penalty. But yeah, so yeah, that means that 3 power clams is now going to tie the game, I believe. So Ao has an opportunity in overtime, but they're kind of juggling power claims here. They can't just sit around, because that will give back okay that Kid Fan Club the kind of time they need to move in and find the picks. Time's already ticking down.
They don't have time to get to
too much
basket.
time, yeah, in mid trying to take these fights. They don't have any way to get to the basket. Dat Kid Fan Club sets up a sweep 3-0, and they're going to be moving on to semifinals.
Incredible job there out of Dat Kid Fan Club. They played really well off of each other. They played really cleanly. They moved as a unit. Really great job from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Dat Kid Fan Club was just doing a great job kind of like playing to their advantages there. They were using the strikes really well. They were kind of waiting out. They didn't fall victim to, I think, like Whale. They didn't drag it right into other teammates and whatnot, and they ended up kind of double teaming when like Brush or Bamboo pushed in. I think a big player that set was like the fact that they were able to shut down Trizzy. I think that every time Trizzy kind of went for a flank, Dat Kid Fan Club was able to really have multiple eyes on it. They didn't ever end up like getting behind the enemy team.
No, not at all. Dat Kid Fan Club did a great job of being very aware and knowing exactly what a Brush likes to do. Because most of the Brushes we have in the scene right now have pretty similar play styles. That very fast-paced QR skirmish flank kind of play style. And if you shut down a Brush on a Brush team, it tends to, make it pretty hard for the rest of their team to do much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, getting the Brush kind of behind the enemy team and having them at least like do some damage to people is like really big. But it felt like Dat Kid Fan Club kind of was playing patient, and they didn't let the Brush get behind them. They kind of kept them in their view at all times. Stayed, I guess, relatively spread out and watched their flanks.
Yeah, they definitely did a great job of that. Being ready for everything is always great. Being able to stay in control, able to react, always incredible to do. And it does seem like we know what our next match will be. It'll be Comp Diff versus Dat Kid Fan Club. So be keeping following Dat Kid Fan fan club, but comp diff is made up of Jay, Erza, Punchy, and Aloha. So it should be a very tight game and a hard matchup for Dat Kid.
Yeah, that will be very interesting. I'm actually curious to see what they've been running. Splatter color screen is allowed for this set. So I don't know whether we will be seeing that come out here. I think we've seen less of it, even though like a lot of teams are like allowing it. We haven't seen like 52 deco as much. I think not long after it came out, it was really popular.
Yeah, I
in
think
like, high level scrims.
Yeah, and I can see why it's really good at helping negate the enemy team's pencil, which when every team has a pencil, can do a lot of heavy lifting. I've always been surprised we don't see more of Foil Squeezer, because I think Auto Bomb is already great with Squeezer, and it's a good special. Obviously, Zuka's also good. Can't go wrong with Zuka, but I happen to be a big fan, conceptually, of Foil Squeezer in a competitive setting. I don't like it very much for solo queue. I personally don't like running screen in solo queue. But I like, if it's allowed, I think Foil Squeezer is a good option for a lot of comps.
Yeah, I'm a big enemy of Squeezer. I don't like it.
I mean, that's fair. You can't deny
If you
it, but
play
it's
Squeezer,
so
do
strong,
not interact
though.
with me.
That's so valid, Fusion, but you can't deny that it is ridiculously strong.
I like when a weapon is only limited by how fast you can press the button.
Yeah.
No.
At least you can't fake it as easily now.
It's a very good weapon. And yeah, they kind of they did patch around like turbo.
It didn't
stuff like
fully fix the turbo thing, but
no, but
I
it's
think there's still a few
weapon.
Yes, and even if you don't manage to hit its max speed, it's a very good weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine that because there's a bunch of mid lines in the meta, it's not as good as it would be.
It's still really good.
Yeah, it is. I don't know whether we'll be seeing any of that, though. We know what Dat Kid fan club likes to run.
Yes.
Rocking kind of like the blaster and the slosher here. I don't know what competitive will pull out, though. I mean, Urza usually played a lot of like aggressive stuff. I'm wondering whether we'll be seeing just like
at the end of AR
stuff coming out.
I mean, that's definitely an option. At the end of AR, Erza was actually playing playing some anchors though.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah,
Erza's a bit of a wild card, a little unpredictable. Because also, I mean, I can't think of a weapon class Erza hasn't played.
That's absolutely fair. I mean,
as
it's
somebody who watched
like
every Ghost Gaming and Olive. That was my favorite era of Comp Splatoon, was the Kraken Paradise Team Olive era. That was my peak Splatoon. So I know a little too much about both of those teams.
And good enough at the game, you're good enough at everything in the game.
Unless you've truly just one-tricked the entire time. In which case, I respect it, but what a choice to make. I can't think of anyone left at top level that's one-tricked for that long, though.
Unless you're like a shot one trick, I don't see how you survive in top level.
Look, if you've played shot since Splatoon 1 and nothing else, love that for you. But have you considered trying something new?
There are more flavors of ice cream.
You can eat things that aren't vanilla, and you'll be okay, I promise. It'll be okay. You can live life on the edge at all, actually. Any amount.
There's vanilla, there's French vanilla, there's vanilla bean.
Yeah, that's order shot, hero shot, and vanilla splatter shot. Vanilla with chocolate syrup on it, that's 10 out of 10.
That is good. Oh,
living life on the edge there. No, hot fudge is a different weapon entirely. That's too bold for them.
Was that Octo Shot?
Yeah, that's Octo Shot. There are so many kinds of
strikes.
that has strikes. That's living on the edge. And I think this is this the first? No. Oh, okay. We're going into counter picks this set, which will be our first set with counter picks so far. The rest of winner's bracket, I assume, will be counter pick based. It is best of 5 still. and we are going to be starting on Umami Splat Zones, which is one of our only dual zone maps that we regularly use in comp. It feels like in Splatoon 3 in general, there are less dual zone maps.
Yeah, there aren't too many, and some of them, I believe, just aren't.
We could play Manta Zones again. We could bring it back.
We could.
That one was fine. We have enough zones maps. I'm a dual zone stan. I like dual zones. I miss them. I think they're a very different playstyle.
From Splatoon 1.
Yeah, love that. Everyone loved Fort Mackerel zones in Splatoon 1 and 2. People love Stingray in Splatoon 2, Fort Mackerel zones. We are seeing double pencil here again. Comp diff, I mean, they're very similar comps, really. The difference being the splash and the gal versus the shot and the that's not a blaster, that's a slosher.
Okay.
Oh dear. Well, it is early enough that I have not. I would like to double check the replay rules before I say this, but I'm pretty sure that's early enough to get a replay.
Yeah.
Because even Nintendo tournaments allow replays when it's that fast, usually. Yeah, 10 seconds. You get 10 seconds in the official Nintendo tournaments for a replay. Fair and balanced.
Yeah. Well, CompDiff, sorry. That Kid Fan Club seemed to be off to a pretty good start there, but unfortunately, not able to survive the DC replay. We did see we saw the early crab come out from CompDiff, so that's something they could keep in mind on the replay. We haven't seen really crab this tournament so far, but still a very solid pick. Going to be clearing out a lot of space, especially they're using it like from the dome on top mid. That's a good option instead of just sending someone up to scrap immediately.
I like that crab these days is more of a, oh, we've consciously thought about our comp and we want to use crab. I think crab is really great and really strong, especially on maps like this. I think this is one of its best maps. I love seeing it come out here. And also, just as an interesting note, Erza isn't playing. The player all of us probably are most familiar with does not seem to be on right now.
Yeah, I believe not. Yeah, it's going to be Jay on the backline instead. I mean, is Butcher Urza? I have no idea.
Urza. I love when players don't use the same names. It's my favorite.
That feels like an Urza nickname.
It does feel like an Urza nickname. I am a little surprised that their name isn't Scar on Sunday, because I know they were oh dear. Okay, they're just going to keep playing. It's a 3v4. Comp Diff is going to have to quite literally diff here, and they might be able to. They have very well-known players that have been around for forever. They should be a strong comp. They are... Oh, they stopped playing. They needed to keep playing. This is unfortunate for them. Sometimes that's how it goes. I do believe that's just going to be the game lost for them. It is a best of 5. I could be wrong. We'll wait to hear from the voices above. Okay. So they should have to keep playing it now. This will likely be a loss for them. There is time for them to turn it around, assuming their internet decides to cooperate. They might be doing a lobby reset and a gentleman's, which is hopefully that fixes things. It might not, especially on Splatfest days. The Nintendo servers tend to be a little less cooperative. Not even servers. Whatever magic Nintendo does to make the games talk to each other is less cooperative during Splatfest because there are more people.
Servers are getting carbo loaded.
Yeah. Which is always unfortunate. We will be getting back into it shortly, though. I do think this will be a very interesting set if DCs stop happening. And I think there is a world in which CompDiff can take one 3v4. Probably not a whole set, but probably one.
I mean, 3v4s are so impossible at top level.
They really are.
I'd like to believe, but
I could see them pulling off one. I could not see them pulling off more than one. And that's just me being very confident in the players CompDiff has. That Kid fan club is also made up of very strong players, but I mean, those are names that have been around for a very long time on competitive and have been at the top for a very, very long time.
Yeah, they certainly have. Meanwhile, in semis, Black Bull versus BTDX 1-1. Tight set so far. Who is Black Bull? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. It's Brian Noctis.
Brian?
Yeah, Anger and
Oh.
Toady. Sorry, my ring light is blocking part of the the roster, so I'm like saying a name, looking behind it, saying another name.
Excuse me as I consider pulling up Brian's stream out of temptation. Definitely a fun team to get to have around. Those are all really good players. Once again, this is just a tournament that's pulling out the top of the top, which is always so great to see.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, Duck Motif. Yeah, BTDX beat Duck Motif.
Oh, wow.
So that's interesting. Duck
That
Motif. Yeah, you can
is.
see them in losers there playing against Hypernova, and meanwhile, one particular segment of losers significantly behind because of I think because of the delay we saw a little bit earlier, but we can see a lot of familiar faces we've seen. Pretty much one of every team in each of these little groups.
Yeah, it's I'm most of the other games, especially at this point, are going to be streamed over on Dapple too. The further we get into this, the more of the games everyone will be able to watch all the time, which is one of the fun things about dual casted tournaments like this. But yeah, we are just. Seems like we do have everybody in the lobby now, which is great. We are getting closer to starting, and it does seem they are doing a gentleman's replay just to see if this fixed it. If this has not worked, they will just have to play this out as a 3v4. But we are going to be getting back into it here with CompDiff versus Dat Kid Fan Club going into Splat Zone's Umami.
Let's see if third time's the charm.
Third time's gotta be the charm. Surely this time.
Surely.
Surely.
Without a doubt.
Please. Please let it work. Please let us get to watch the video game. Shockingly, this isn't the most number of DCs I've ever commentated over. I think the record in a row is like 5.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was.
A lot of
it might have.
persistence.
Yeah, sometimes you just keep going and you keep hoping for the best. Most tournaments don't do that anymore, which is good. That's too many times in a row. If your Wi-Fi's not working that much, GG, you know?
Honestly, like...
Oh, we do still have all players so far, 15 seconds in though.
We do, actually. I was gonna say, players are doing the same thing, but actually the adaptation, the crap, instead of going towards Dome, going onto that right side, and it doesn't seem to end up working out. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
okay,
Blitz is going
Richard.
absolutely mental.
Yeah, pretty sure that's
two members.
Pretty sure that's
It's gotta be, right?
That's
Yeah.
gotta be airs. Who else could do that? We are seeing right now a very strong opening out of Dat Kid Fan Club now being able to fully move up, pushing CompDiff all the way back into their spawn. Not a situation I would have expected here, but interesting to see nonetheless.
Yeah. Time's ticking down. You got to be careful not to get too aggressive on this map. It's easy to kind of get trapped here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the
Nasty.
trickle. Dat Kid able to find a pick with that blaster. Time ticking down. The only special is a whale. And I don't think that's going to really be enough to clear the plat here. You can see Miner and the rail. They're still waiting. Still up on Dome. The Kraken coming in. And wow, this game is kind of just really dominant. Dat Kid Fan Club locking out CompDiff. CompDiff has one last opportunity to get back into the zone here. And the range blaster able to find a pick. Is there a member on the right side? No, there does not seem to be.
That's
this
just
is
game.
curtains, yeah.
Wow. Okay, Dat Kid Fan Club. Okay. Huh.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's about all there is to say about that. I mean, I'm gonna give CompDiff the benefit of the doubt because this is a steamrolly map sometimes. They got locked out early. They couldn't get back in. They probably could have regrouped better and found a way back in, but they didn't have great specials for doing that. They didn't have a great way to brute force their way back in. And That Kid Fan Club did a really great job of setting up that lockout. They played patient. They didn't take huge risks. They stood in safe positions. They knew where they could stand to get safe picks, and they did a great job at it.
They absolutely did. And just the opening, I mean, they had 3 shots at it, and that Kid Fan Club still stayed strong and was able to kind of like, I guess, I don't. You know, the more you commentate, the more you're just like, you end up saying the same things and whatever. But the fact that that Kid Fan Club was able to remain on the plat despite the specials, thanks to like really going all out. We saw the range blaster up there. We saw the bucket up there. Everyone had a hand on deck at that point. That they were able to survive the. They were able to survive the like whale coming out and just like the Kraken coming out in the nick of time. Comptif just kind of felt probably a little bit flustered after DCing twice. So maybe they'll get a little bit more footing going into the second game here.
Yeah, I can imagine that it would be very brutal to have DC twice. I do know that there was also a message sent in the chat between these two teams to do zones only, so we might be seeing zones only coming out here, just depending. Double range blaster still, Tri-Slosher coming out on the side of Comptif. I like to see that Tri-Slosher. I like to see the Inkjet here. I think it has a lot of potential. They just need to make sure they don't get wiped like they did last game.
Oh, that kid going aggressive for the pick on the snipe, not able to find her in time. That's such an early crowd. That's like 10 seconds in. They have to have special charge. Yeah, range blaster.
Sometimes you are simply a splash player who knows how to get your crap in 10 seconds as a treat.
It's like insane, especially for a weapon that has had its special nerf, like splash. So Comptif coming out with the advantage this time, and very interestingly, they have a vanilla Tri-Slosher.
Yes, I like seeing that Inkjet here. I think this is a really great Inkjet map, so I can see that working out very well for them if they can get themselves set up enough. And it looks like they might be able to, but they have to break back in first. Well, it's also good for breaking in, I guess. Good point, Aloha. Good argument. Good Inkjet argument.
Unfortunately, pencil.
True. Truly the bane of all players' existence. Pencil. Remember when we had ballpoint meta? That was nice.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, S3 ballpoint
the
meta.
ATP league.
That was great. You want to know what I don't miss? S2 ballpoint meta. Good for ballpoint getting to be meta 2 times. Rare for a splatling. That Menace looking for a good opportunity to get moving forward, being heavily painted out. Krakening probably going to be able to take out Erza there, able to. Looking to find another on Jay, able to chase them down. Jay manages to escape just in time, but at this point, Comptif hasn't been able to find lead, and that's the zone going back into the favor of Dat Kid Fan Club.
Yeah, Comptif actually able to kind of stabilize here, but not able to. They're taking so long to cap the zone here that that Kid Fan Club, has time to move in. Margaret finds a pick with the pencil there. Now looking for some more space here. Jay locking things down on the right side, giving the coolers to their team. The entire team's all cooled up here, and Comptif stabilizing finally. They are able to win the fight and nearly get rid of their penalty here. Miner's the only one left alive for Dat Kid Fan Club. They have the strikes at the ready, but they're going to need to kind of regroup here. And yeah, they're going to need to regroup here and to get their specials in because time's ticking.
Yeah, trip strikes at the ready from them, forcing Punchy to have to reposition with that crab tank. Punchy looking to try and find some picks, able to help hold zone after that crab tank's done. Wavebreaker coming out, helping to cause interference, but not going to be enough to stop a Kraken, obviously. Able to find the pick onto Punchy, getting rid of that splash, getting rid of a lot of the paint on the side of Comptif. And we're seeing Aloha trying to move forward with that Tri-Slosher, helping neutral the zone. Erza, all of them kind of just bunched up on that left side. Punchy be able to rotate to right, but not going to be able to do a ton with it. But we do see Comptif having the lead for now. Very different than last game where it was over very quickly.
Yeah, wow, 3 members actually going down. Jay, the pencil, the last one alive. They are able to jump out and survive the encounter. That Kid Fan Club, no penalty online. There's a crab ready from Punchy over on this left side here. They're going to start pressuring that zone. Range Blaster able to find a pick. That's big. That means that this push from Comp Diff's going to kind of end up getting shut down. Nice kill with the Kraken. That's really big. As long as that Kid Fan Club's able to hold on to the zone here, they can still tick down that low penalty, and now the pencil forced to jump out. This should be a lead coming out from Dat Kid Fan Club in just a second. Compdiff running out of time here. Points are ticking down. The specials are going to begin to come out from Compdiff here. This could go either way.
It really could. Range Blasters down on both sides. Miner popping the trip strikes, trying to keep the zone. Not going to be enough as the zone flips back into Compdiff's favor for a moment, giving that Kid Fan Club penalty points. But Compdiff needs to get lead back here. Cooler's out on zone, but only one member able to pick it up and goes down immediately. Zone is staying distinctly in that Kid Fan Club's favor. And I don't know how at this point that Compdiff gets back in, especially with the Range Blaster putting so much pressure out. Punchy trying to find one, able to get the trade, but that's not nearly enough. And this might even be a KO here if that Kid Fan Club plays their cards right.
Time's ticking down. The Range Blaster finds a pick on the left side. Dat Kid Fan Club still in control. Punchy, the last one on his left side here, and oh my god, you can't press Crab against that. Butcher comes in, jumps in, the time's still ticking. That's going to be the game. Dat Kid Fan Club up 2-0. Putting so much pressure onto Compdiff here.
Yeah, Compdiff now has to reverse sweep to make this happen. Not a position you ever want to be in. Definitely a hard thing to do. I am interested in seeing if they counterpick to zones again. Are they going to stick to that thing said in chat, or are they going to try a different mode and see if maybe tower control works out better for them? Yeah, though with how long a lot of these players have been around, it wouldn't surprise me if they stick zones.
Yeah, it is indeed counter picks here. So they have all the options in the world at this point, but they have lost both of these zones games so far. They may opt for tower control here. Both teams kind of running bucket and blaster. So can't really say the comp leans in favor one way or the other, but you know what? This would be a perfect time to counterpick Inkblot tower control.
You're right, but I'm mad about it. Look, is it a good choice for them? Yeah, but also, for why? We can do something else actually as a tree. We could play something else for sure. We could play Clamblets. We could play. Let me look at the map pool. I have it pulled up somewhere. I've hidden it from myself, but I know I have it. No, we've seen that twice already. I need something new. I need some spice in my life. I was checking to see if Scorch was an option, because I like Scorch. It is! They could play Scorch Clams. I say as one of the only people that like Scorch.
I like Scorch Clams. Scorch is cool.
I cool.
think Clams and Rainmaker are very fun there.
I agree. Should you play tower controller zones there? No.
No.
No. But
no.
It's very fun for Clams. I think it really incites a lot of unique strategies in Clamblitz and Rainmaker. I think it's one of the few maps where I see a lot of arguments for Vakon, Bat and Humpback for Rainmaker specifically. And I think Bubble is funny there for Clams. Funny Bubble map.
Funny Bubble. All right, how long until Inkblot tower control shows up?
Look, no, we've got until next round. No, surely we've got until next round until somebody does that. They're gonna stick all zones. I believe in them. I believe in them sticking to the things said in chat. Don't you? Don't you think they'll stick to their word?
Maybe.
I mean, it's how much do they
where would they pick
is
zones
the other
otherwise?
part of
that. What other zones maps are in this rotation?
Haggle, Mako, Barnacle, Robo. All of those are very fine.
They could pick like Barnacle. I mean, I feel like that would help with Crab. It is Clams Museum.
Wahoo! Yippee!
No, it's Museum.
I mean, that's fine. It's good. It's, I think it's a good choice for them to switch the mode. They are struggling on zones. Maybe they need a mode where they control the pace more, because zones is very much a set pace that happens. Maybe they feel more confident in their ability to get that kid off kilter and not able to make the pushes they want to. But this is match point, and if that kid takes this, they will have gone 3-0 against a team that I think most people would have expected to come out on top.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because this is a doozy of a game to put away against Comptiff, who is the #1 seed in this tournament. So this is, of course, another really good crab map. I can kind of see the logic of them picking it here. Punchy has that
Yes.
crab early over on this left side. Yep, I like the angle, trying to,
Ooh.
my god, trying to clear up behind mid, able to find a pick on the pencil even. Okay. Zupa finds a pick on that gal on top mid. That Kid fan club still, despite everything, coming out to an early advantage.
Yeah, that Kid fan club really putting on a great show here. Erza gonna try and put some pressure on, not gonna be able to do enough as the Kraken comes out and just clears them out. That's going to be 2 clams in. What a 3. That's 3 clams in. Wow. Yeah, that Kid fan club putting on a show for us here today.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
Sometimes all you can say about a push is wow.
Wow.
Good for them. That was clean. That was so clean.
So many points on the board. Comptiff already finding themselves in a bit of a tough spot here. I'm trying to push up on this right side. Again, easy to hold down this right side, hard to push to the basket. Whale finds just a little tickle on that one member on the left side is enough to find a pick. Pushing from the block on the left side in, able to find 1 pick. This pinch could help Clams begin to move in. They have a crab that's able to find 1 pick. Here comes Butcher on the range blaster, moving up. Pencil not able to find the pick. The range is taken out, but the Clams are not able to make it to the basket. We can see that Kid fan club just playing so patient. They have a large lead, so they can kind of take their time. They just need to avoid the massive pushes here. Do they know? I think they know. The Kraken knew.
They must know.
They had to jump out. Comptiff forced to back up to their plat yet again. That Kid fan club just really showing their skill and awareness of how to push and how to stop pushes on this map.
Yeah. I mean, they've played this map a few times, at least one other time today. I believe we saw it last set. They seem very comfortable on it. They know what to do on it. And they are playing really well off of each other. Once again, their comp synergizes really well. They are playing beautifully. Mine are doing a great job using strikes to help stall out mid here, allowing their pencil player to get more set up, allowing their teammates time to respawn. But that's not going to matter if Aloha manages to break in like this, trying to find a pick onto the last member able to. They don't have a lot of clams, though.
Yeah, they have a few, but not nearly enough. Just getting on the board is useful. Punchy getting some clams in mid, but this seems... I was going to say, this seems like it could be the end of the push. Actually able to jump back to the left side of the plat here. If they can get more specials online, they could kind of reinvigorate this push here, but kind of forced out here thanks to the bucket and the blaster. You can't really sit on low ground against those guys. So Deckhead Fan Club clearing it up really nicely.
Yeah, they've been doing an excellent job at both defense and offense, just playing beautifully. Just Jay left up. Margaret gonna move up to Spinner here, trying to find the pick on Jay. If nothing else, forcing them to back up. Trip strikes coming out. There's a power clam online. Dat Kid Fan Club looking to put the nail in the coffin, potentially.
Yeah, so many clams on the line. They have the Kraken to move in towards the basket. That's 2 members down on Comptiff. Dat Kid has 7 clams on this left side. They aren't able to move in. They look, they get a pick. They have a clam as well. But just Miner ahead, and they are not going to be able to fully clear the way. The Kraken drops that power clam, and this push, despite looking oh so close, there's no one moving at the basket while another person has the clam. So that's going to be the end of that push. That Kid Fan Club, 1 minute left. They have an opportunity to make it all the way to winners finals if they can lock away this game.
They want to, because this is the #1 seed. Taking out the #1 seed puts you in such a better spot going into winners finals, and also gives the viewers a great chance to see a potential rematch later if this goes in that Kid Fan Club favor.
Yeah, Comptiff is not done saying anything about this. Butcher had 7 clams, not able to make their way to the basket, not able to find a pick. That Kid Fan Club playing so far back. Like, literally, they are, like, all on high ground. Finally, they're dropping onto the plat. Aloha close to the basket, gets taken out. Miner moving in, closing in. They find the kill on the power clam. 20 seconds left. The power clam gets picked up. 2 members down onto that Kid Fan Club. 20 seconds left. CompDiff has another opportunity, but they need like 3 power clams if they want to get back into this game. All it's going to take is one big pick. If they can find the pick on the bucket and the range blaster, they have an opportunity, but the Kraken coming in early is making it oh so difficult.
Oh,
It's
just
overtime.
punchy.
Yeah, it's just the one member alive. That Kid fan club sealing away this game, doing a little dance.
Yeah, as they should. They've earned this dance, I think. Wow.
They certainly
What an
have.
upset.
Great stuff.
Just incredible gameplay there out of them. I mean, they synergized super well. They played off of each other. They focused on shutting down individual players at a time on the side of CompDiff, and they did a great job of it. They kept a lot of paint down on the map, not allowing the range blaster to be able to move around freely and allowing theirs too. Like, just incredible job there out of them. Wow.
Yeah, really great stuff. I think like they played defense particularly well this set. They kind of recognize that if they can just like wait out and not get like really caught out by the crabs, I think CompDiff was generally playing pretty patiently. They were
Yes.
able to kind of sit back and dive on the pushes when they happened. Not enough clams coming out from CompDiff. An incredible upset from Dat Kid Fan Club, who are finding themselves in winners finals.
Just an incredible job out of them. And they're going to be going up against Black Bull, which is... I have their comp pulled up somewhere, or I did. But it's also a very strong team. I do believe not CompDiff, Dat Kid Fan Club might be... Let me look at bracket, actually. Yeah, no, Black Bull is the second seed, so it would be another pretty good upset if Dat Kid Fan Club takes them out.
Dat Kid Fan Club and Black Bull facing off in winners finals. Let's take a look at the lower side of the bracket so we can see what's going on. CompDiff and Duck Motif will be facing each other to get to semis, and Healthy Diet and Gravity playing each other. Winner faces OW, winner faces BTDX, and then catches up. So we've got a little bit of a backup on the lower side of the bracket, but we'll get to see those with our 2 streams on IPL and Dapple Productions.
Yes. Always exciting to be able to have 2 streams going on like this. Not something we always get to have. It's one of my favorite things when leagues like this get to do that, though, because it's so special to be able to see so much of the games.
All right, guys. We are going to hop to a quick break before we move to our next set. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 20XX League qualifier number 2. We are getting pretty far into the tournament. Winners is already in winners finals. We are going to be hopping down to losers side, where we have Gravity versus our two teams we just saw a little bit earlier. Winner will be facing BTDX, and then moving on to face Duck Motif. Actually, Comptif, who we just saw, went down 2-0 to Duck Motif. So big upsets coming out so far in the tournament.
Yeah, it should be exciting to see how the rest of this goes. Seems like Comptif had a hard day today, not their strongest showing. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing the rematch between these two teams. It'll be exciting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, both these teams definitely looked pretty strong so far. We saw Ao a little bit earlier. They were rocking the brush, but we're not able to get so much value out of it in the streamed set. So we'll see whether they're able to do that again here. This time, best of 3. Very little room for error.
Yeah, very little room for error when you're in a situation like this. I will say that Ao came out on top the first time here against Gravity when we saw them. So it is a rematch where Gravity has something they want to prove. And we're going to be starting on TC Inkblot. Woohoo! Yay! Everyone loves it, for sure.
We were just talking about this. This is your favorite map, right?
It's my favorite. I don't get sick of it at all. I don't wish that we would retire it for like 6 months so I could not see it for a bit. As a player and as a commentator. It's a map of all... Cat! Incredible. Actually, everything's okay if I can see a cat while I talk about Inkblot. That makes it okay, actually. That's how it works. For the cat tax, we can see Inkblot. Incredible. What a baby. Truly amazing.
I knocked my mic out while I was doing that. Oops.
That's peak cat behavior, though.
That was me who knocked my mic out. It wasn't even the cat.
You could have
Still peak cat behavior.
What good cat, though. Oh, I love animals. Animals are so good.
We saw her tail make a cameo earlier.
Yeah, and after we see the tail, we've got to see the whole cat. It's only fair, I think.
Yeah, we'll be hopping into TC Inkblot, your favorite map. I like this map a decent bit. It's still a little bit well, I don't want to say it's too snowbally, but
it's very snowbally.
Past the checkpoint, it's snowbally. But
it really is.
The teams can kind of play around that pretty well.
Yeah, especially at this point, because everyone's played it 20 bajillion times. 7 years of Inkblot TC. Wow. Exciting. It is. I get why people like it. It can be a very exciting map. It can have very exciting conclusions. It's good. I just would like to not see it. It is a personal preference of, my God, been there, done that.
Yeah, it's it's definitely a map. One of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, or something like that.
Truly. Yeah. It's Inkblot TC, Mako Zones, Mako TC, and Haggle Zones. Those will be what come to get us at the end of times.
Honestly, Clams Umami, we've been seeing that a ton since the rework.
That's true, we have.
Like, nobody played Umami Clams before that at all. It was definitely a little bit like, people didn't view it as like a very good map, I think, before then. But
it still has its... it's definitely a very unique playstyle of a map still.
But
red
here we
pencil.
Go. I believe we actually did see this map last time as well.
We did.
What a
these are very
combination.
Different comps on both sides.
Pencil and bamboo, actually.
The numbers play nice. If you hit your shots, it'll work. 96 gal and 52 gal together also. Not unheard of, but definitely not common. Tri-slosher as the cooler. My god, these teams are cooking Fusion.
They are cooking. What are they cooking though?
What are
We'll
they
have to find out. Yeah, Red Pencil actually, I think, had a big win in Japan as well. A very
Yeah,
common, popular Zones pick, but
It
this is
is.
not Zones.
No? Has anyone told these players that this isn't Zones? Do they know? I think they
I
know.
don't know. But
I mean, with a pencil and a bamboo, they must know it's not Zones.
yeah, I mean, Owl like Red Rum loves playing super aggressive with bamboo, so maybe
Yeah.
they're just like bamboo isn't the backline anyways.
I mean, true. It is a
yeah.
midline.
So they're like, let's get another weapon online, and Owl playing defensively here. Gravity's not able to quite get control of the bats there. Trizzy locking things down, but the Zuka chip is gonna finish them off. Tower at the checkpoint now. There's nothing to stop the checkpoint from going down. They ran straight into a splash wall and died. So
You know?
Tower gonna move past the checkpoint. Big push coming out from Gravity. But Owl is seeming, it's a 2v2 situation. They're kind of stabilizing a bit, but pushing up against a Tri-Slosher is so hard. There may be a jump. Yep, one more jump coming in by the pedestal there, or the goal there. So Owl finally able to get some traction, stabilize a bit, and finally get some paint control online. But I think their comp is kind of oriented more towards defense. So how are they going to be aggressive here? It really, like, Red Rum is the aggro on the team.
Yes. Which, there's nothing wrong with Bamboo playing aggro, but you do tend to want another Slayer with it. I guess they're relying on Trizzy to get a lot of picks and really break it in for them. But that's easier said than done with those weapons against a brush.
Absolutely, but nonetheless, Tower making its way to the checkpoint there. Nice pick on the Tower. Flank from behind from X-Battle gets a nice pick. Tower going to be stopped at the check. No more members alive in the bats there. This push is going to be dead from Ow. They're going to have to back up and regroup a little bit here. I mean, having a push all the way down to 19 early in the game, very nice. You don't need to worry so much about this checkpoint. You can play pretty much just conservatively and then, dive on the tower to say, okay, we don't have to fight for our lives with this check here, like to save lead. We can fight for like a long-term victory. And
Yeah.
my God, yeah, two members end up going down there. It's Gravity is going to take another swing at it.
Yeah, Gravity doing a great job here. So I know we said they can play conservatively, but it's really good to keep pushing, even if you're not going to get more points sometimes this early on. Because the more the objective is on their side of the map, the more it isn't on yours.
Yeah, that is very true.
You just, like, you don't want to need... If you can keep the objective away from where you live, that's pretty good. It's pretty good to keep it far away from you. But right now, they're going to have to regroup pretty intensely to keep them from getting this second checkpoint.
Yeah, members of Owl pushing the bats. They've got two very nice picks here, and the brush now camping the ledge here. 96 not able to do anything about it. That's a free checkpoint, and four members up. The whale is going to come out, targeting down the 96. They're trying to get Kraken in time. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. They might. They do have Kraken in time, and they're going to go for that tower. But still, three members of Owl alive. Trizzy, nice pick, locking down the bats, the most important area of the map to hold down, but being forced to back out to help their teammates keep this push at least somewhat alive is Trizzy. So now I was going to have to really gear up for another push, start from square one.
Yeah, X-Battle did a good job there of flanking and causing a huge distraction to get Owl to have to back off for a minute, but that's not enough to clear them out. It's just the 96 gal up. This could be the checkpoint. I mean, the checkpoint's gone. This could be a lead switch if Owl plays this correctly.
It certainly could. The tower's moving forward. Just two more points on the line. It's the 52 on the tower. They get taken out by the whale. Trizzy moving in. It's a try on tower, and the try gets two picks just before the lead swap.
Tri-Slosher moment. Truly, none of their other weapons could have done it.
Oh my God.
That's peak Tri-Slosher energy right there.
Oh my God. Just hoping and praying both members run into the Tri-Slosher, and it works. Their prayers are answered, and Gravity still maintaining the lead here. Ow, going into the tower for another opportunity, but the Kraken's gonna seal the deal. Gravity takes game one.
Good save there by the Tri-Slosher, knowing they have to be on the tower. They have to be on the other side of the tower. I can hit all parts of the tower. I'm a Tri-Slosher. Good awareness on the Tri-Slosher's part. Because if they had not pulled that off, that game would have gone to Ow in a heartbeat.
man, coming in clutch at the last second. The Tri-Slosher making huge plays, and now it's going to be out down to their last legs here because we're in a best of 3 situation here in losers.
Always scary to be in that best of 3. You feel like you always feel so on edge. Your heart is racing, and there is never a let up in a best of 3. Like, yeah, Gravity's like, yeah, we have the lead. It's 1 game up though. It doesn't feel safe or good still.
Yeah.
Which is how losers bracket should feel. You should be terrified the entire time you're in losers bracket.
I'm already anxious enough.
I mean, same Fusion. Same. But what a great, I mean, I'm really interested in seeing how this Clam Blitz Umami game goes. Like I talk about too much. I view Tower and Zones as very similar modes, and Clam and Rainmaker as very similar modes. Because in Clams and Rainmaker, you control the pace of the game, whereas in Zones and Tower, the pace of the objective is set by the game. So I often find that teams will be stronger on one or the other type of mode.
Yeah, that certainly can be true. I think I feel like the kind of bamboo pencil would be much more of like a zones comp kind of thing rather than a tower. But you know, tower does let you move with those anchors kind of without having to.
You don't have to
run
fight.
towards
Your anchors don't have to
Yeah,
get into as funky of positions.
Yeah, they're like on a moving walkway, so they kind of get taken forward with you.
Oh, double cooler coming out here from Al.
Interesting, actually. Yeah,
double whale.
I'm a little bit curious as to
Studyable.
like what the reasoning is because
Yeah.
like if you're going to run the comp you are, I feel like having different specials would be
Better.
but
I could even see Chumps going a little better here than double whale. But we'll see how it works out for him. Gravity has gone 2 down early. They did make an early power clam, but doesn't matter if your players don't stay up. Cooler number 1 out of probably 20 coming out here from Al.
oh my,
Brutal.
zooming
Oh
right
my
in
God.
and bouncy, finding 2
mission.
picks here. Actually, is there something going on? Yeah, in the
Trizzy's
enemies
in
on
there.
Trizzy finds a lot of
Ooh, Red
space,
Rum.
not able to move in. Red Rum cleaning things up, though. Excellent bamboo gameplay coming out. As we're still in a neutral situation, more or less. Ao has control of mid, but they don't have a way in just yet. They're relying super hard on 2 whales. I mean, they literally are double cooler, double whale. So they kind of need that to get a lot of work done. X-Battle over on that left side, so spending so much time dodging the whale, you can't really dodge the brush moving in at you. Trizzy going to dive on the brush, and my God, the try has been, I feel like, an excellent answer to the brush so far this set. But Ao gets that first push online as their members are going to respawn, and they begin setting up on the dome.
Yeah, really great starting push here. They got below 60, always something you want to aim for. Echo does manage to get the trade there thanks to some sprinkler hits. Always funny when sprinkler gets used as a weapon, as a pencil, by a treat. No, as a treat, not by a treat. Bounce has that Kraken at the ready, but there's no power clam that anyone's grabbed to move in with. They do have one that could be grabbed, but none of their players want to sit that far back. But the Kraken has come out, so they are going to be looking to get a push started. Trizzy gets traded by the splatter shot, and we are going to be seeing Gravity having a hard time finding a way to break in here. Surprising with how aggressive their comp is.
They're definitely just waiting for their opportunity, but it doesn't seem like it's going to come. Yeah, Gravity waiting too long. The entirety of Ao comes directly to them, and yeah, the clams are just going to filter their way into the basket. So many clams, and now you have a pencil up under your dome. Pencil drops back into mid to try and just stabilize. They used pretty much all their clams there, so they just back off and try and survive, get some extras online. Really big lead coming out from Ao this game. Gravity has their work cut out for them, but they have an aggressive comp. They certainly can do it, but they need to find a lot of clams in mid first.
And they need to be able to stay up long enough. They have been really struggling to keep their members alive. The Kraken comes out, but it's coming out defensively, not what you want to see when you're this far behind. Bounce able to keep mid for them, but that's not going to matter when Trizzy rushes in like that. Able to find another 2, can't even save the power, has to jump out. And with under 2 minutes left on the clock and they need to push below 16, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's very difficult to try and move in. There's so much range coming out on the side of Ao that it's going to be hard to try and challenge that. You kind of need to rely on like a special getting something done, or like a Kraken coming in and pressuring them. Redrum just locking down the entire left side of the map himself. Huge picks coming out, and Ao wants more. They want to lock this game out. Trizzy doing a little standing in place again. Ao going to yeah, a lot of trades coming out in the middle of the map here.
Well, and to be fair, if you're if you're Ao, you can play for trades right now. You have double cooler that have been coming out consistently. Your cooler players have been staying up, so your other two players can take those aggressive risks. Bounce trying to set something up for their teammates might not be able to hold this on their own as Trizzy rushes them down, able to take out Trizzy, but not able to hold the plat. Bounce looking to move forward into that pencil, might be able to, and taking advantage of the risks with the cooler, but their Power Clam carrier got taken out. They are able to get one in, but with 40 seconds left and so many points to go, they need to be able to make this hold, and Trizzy rushing down the shot might deny that from happening. A jump coming in, it looks like. No, coming in from mid. I'm guessing they're just going to hang back and build a Power Clam, because if they rush in right now, they are dead meat.
Yeah, making a huge pile of clams. Who's going to take them? It's going to be U Prime V there. Gravity has one last shot to take back this game, but they go 2 members down, but a nice bomb is going to breathe a little bit of life in. Game is game. The Tri-Slosher trying to find an opening here. The Fizzy clearing top mid. They're going to move up there, but they need to push in against a lot of chip damage. There's a whale waiting for them. There's a bamboo waiting for them. Here comes the Kraken. The bamboo force forward. That's going to be the Kraken moving towards the basket. They take out they take out a shot. The Power Clam makes its way to the basket. It's going to open it up. There are not any clams online though for Gravity. They don't have any way in, and that is going to be the game going into the favor of Ao.
Both of these teams going in 1-1 into their final chance to keep in this tournament and make it to the next round. Absolutely brutal.
Whew. Yippee. We're going to be going to game 3 here. We'll see which team's going to be able to come out on top. I do wonder, like, is this a comp that Ao is like super practiced with? I have not seen anything like it really before, but it seems to be working out for them. And I believe the last map was zones, right?
Yeah, the last map is zones. It should be something that their comp is strong on. It kind of just feels like players are playing weapons they're confident on, and then they shoved 2 coolers at it. It does not feel like a very thought out or practiced comp to me personally. It feels like our players know how to play these weapons. What if we shove 2 coolers at the weapons? Yeah. And I mean, they were right. It worked.
Like,
but also...
I guess like if it... Oh, sorry. No, you go.
It's also just like, we did it. Wow. I don't think the whales were helping them that much. I think there are lots of ways to refine and improve the comp. I don't think there's anything wrong with the double cooler, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. If both of your backlines, or sorry, like the bamboo and the pencil are going to be super aggressive, like they pick up the other person's cooler and then they still have their cooler when they respawn. So it kind of can work together, but you know, you got to be super aggressive to like make it worth it. And they certainly have been.
Yeah, I mean, Redrum and Trizzy were both so pushed up that entire game, which is the only reason it worked out the way it did. If they had not both been getting those constant picks and able to constantly take those risky trades, it would have been a very different situation. Yeah, I am interested to see how the zones map goes.
Which zones map was it? Oh, it is ramen.
That is, yeah. I mean, I can see that working out for him.
Yeah,
I could see that going either way.
That seems very good for the pencil and the bamboo there. But
Gravity can pull out some trip strikes here, though.
It's true. I think, you know, Kraken can get a lot of work done here as well. Very difficult to...
Heavy hit.
Yeah, very difficult to, like...
Into 2 chargers.
Displace people, but so Kraken being a surefire way to, like, move the anchors is good. There is going to be that edit coming out, a little bit of a range to challenge Ao coming out from Gravity here.
Yeah.
But seems a little bit difficult with all of the range coming out. It's going to be difficult to contest the paint from Ao.
It will, and especially, like, I love Heavy Edit. It is one of my favorite cooler weapons in the game. I think it really struggles into Pencil. It doesn't naturally like playing into it, but Bounce is doing a great job of herding away the chargers from the edit, allowing them to keep themselves alive and help their teammates get in. Trizzy on that brush, trying to rush things down. Bounce, I think, just got taken out by a sprinkler, which, like, that's rough. Red Rum going down to the whale there from the 52 gal. What a bloodbath in mid.
Yeah, neither team, both teams kind of vying for control of the zone here. Neither team has that score below like 75 at this moment. We've been seeing the 52 hanging out on that left side, trying to find a way in. That's a huge Zuka from X Battle. They're going to be moving all the way in. Trizzy getting under, trying to move all the way behind, and they get taken out. Oh, that's a huge opportunity and a stagger from Ao there.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Heavy Edit doing a great job of holding mid here, keeping paint down, allowing their teammates safe jumps around. Bounce pulling out this Kraken again, causing chaos, chasing down Trizzy, forcing Trizzy to stay away from their teammates for a second longer. Cooler coming out from both sides. Just chaos and havoc. Bounce looking to find a pick, trying to put down a lot of pressure, taking advantage of the wall. Admittedly, as long as they're able to keep that wall set up, Ao does not have a lot of answers to a splash wall.
Yeah, absolutely. They have the whales, and those are going to begin to come out now. Players still being pretty aggressive. They are able to find a pick. X Battle looking to move up. The 52 being super aggressive. Yeah, that wall, without the whale, it's going to be difficult to contest it. And yet again, it's the 52 moving up with that splash wall. Now a Kraken taking its place. It's going to be Gravity pulling ahead in this game. Only 20 ticks left on the timer. Ao stuck in their spawn. No specials on Gravity. This is the last opportunity. They have to get in and stay in the tournament.
Gravity probably just wants to back off and paint here. They don't need to take any big risks. Their shot player's gone down. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they did need to try and find some picks. A push to 4 is nothing to sneeze at, especially when you're going to have Cooler jumps back into your Heavy Edit like that. They just need to keep flipping the zone back into their color. They want to play aggressive. It's good to get back on their plat if you can, but their main focus just needs to be getting the zone back.
Yeah, they do have the zone now, so Gravity needs to be a little bit careful to not let this game get away from them. They're playing super aggressive to try and get it back before the score gets out of hand, but with all the long range coming out, they need to be careful. Yeah, the Zuka and the Kraken come out together. That's one pick on, I believe it was the Pencil, but they're already respawning because of that double cooler. Gravity grabs back the zone, puts a penalty onto Ao. Now, they can take their time, breathe a little bit easier, because Ao needs to do a lot of work in order to really win a fight here. They need to win the fight using mostly the Pencil and Bamboo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely in a situation where they want to be able to save their specials for holding zone rather than taking zone. And we're seeing the 52 gal using that wall to set up. This is such a good wall map if the other team doesn't have a slosher or blaster. They're doing a great job of taking advantage of that with their 96 and 52, which is impressive to see.
Trizzy sneaking forward, making their way towards the middle of the zone. They are going to be moving all the way in. 2 members of Ao go down. They're on the respawn now. Time is ticking. Gravity looking to put this game away. Trizzy in the zone. They're going to... That's not enough. They need the zone. They neutralize... What? 2 members instantly go down on the side of Gravity, and that flips the zone. Who took them out?
I don't know. It was hard to see there. I'm guessing the Pencil then, because Red Runner was down and Trizzy was busy. So it was, I guess, the Zap and Pencil working together, the cooler weapons playing cleanup. Red Rum able to get so pushed up here, Kraken coming out, having to try and displace them in a very brutal way. Trizzy getting taken out, chasing down Echo, might be able to find them, able to. That's a 2-down situation, but their shot's gone down in the process. Bounce looking to try and survive. Red Rum, it's gonna be a fight here to see who can flip this zone first, especially with the 52 going down. And Ao is getting so close to flipping lead here.
Yeah, they're waiting on the Kraken. The Zuka finds 1 pick. That's going to be enough to change the paint so that Gravity can grab the zone back and put a big penalty onto Ao. The Kraken forcing members of Ao onto the low ground. Gravity still in control of the zone, looking for the brush. They're not able to find it. There's 2 members of Ao in the zone. They need to paint it and flip it in time. There's only 1 member left. Gravity hangs on, wins yet another set, making it all the way to losers' quarters, I believe.
I believe so. What a great job there out of gravity to keep that zone. They did just enough to keep themselves in that. What a stressful situation that must have been for them.
Yeah, time ticking. Zones games are so scary because
Yes.
they're like, even when the score is like 60-5, the game can be pretty much even if the 60 team is holding the zone.
Yeah.
You know, both teams like have the same amount of time to grab back the zone because of the penalty system. So you kind of need to make those big plays, and Gravity able to hang on in time. They use their specials very wisely. I think we saw a lot of the Zukas coming out that were able to take out one of the anchor weapons, either the pencil or the bamboo, giving space for Gravity to move back in. And they were able to really just use that to hang on to the zone, just enough to get the knockout.
What an impressive job out of all the teams we've seen so far today. I'm so excited to see how the rest of losers goes, and especially going into grands. Excited to get to watch all of this exciting Splatoon play.
Yes. And with that, I believe that is going to be the end of our block. Let's take a quick look at the bracket. Duck Motif waiting in losers semis. BTDX versus Gravity will be next. They'll be facing Duck Motif, and then there's also the match in winners, who we saw as well. That's going to be Dat Kid Fan Club and Black Bull going on right now. Dat Kid Fan Club pulling ahead.
Wow.
Very strong this tournament.
Yeah, really exciting to see them doing so well against players that have been top players for such a long time. I'm excited to see what they managed to do today.
Ooh, boy. I could use some food right about now. How are you feeling?
I could definitely use a snack.
Long block of commentary. It was a lot of fun.
It was so
and
fun.
The tournament's not over yet. We have a lot still on ahead. So
make sure you stick around and see what Dapple has in store for the rest of today. Going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top. A lot of very strong teams still in. And I think there might be some unexpected results.
mayhaps. Well, I'm Fusion, and Nox.
I'm Nox. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at NoxRaven42.
And thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. More exciting matches on IPL and Dapple Productions.